fucking morning, everybody. Welcome to Classiest whatever. Happy day. I don't know what it is anymore. Good morning. How are you doing? Oh my God, Glut. I'm gonna wait a bit for everyone to get in, but Glut sent me a TikTok this morning. So yesterday I was talking about Kwanzaa and like I had watched something recently on it and I very vaguely remembered like the God, my boobs look huge. Get the fuck under control. Um Kwanzaa's like it was invented very, very recently, and it's not like an old holiday, and I didn't know, and Glut sent me a TikTok this morning that taught me all about it, and it was so fucking interesting, so we're gonna watch that eventually. If you didn't know, like, the origin story of Kwanzaa, that's the word. Yeah, it was invented in the 1960s, which is really interesting, because I remember like, all I remember of Kwanzaa when I was a kid was, they'd have you do crafts for your parents or whatever for Christmas, and they'd be like, "You're gonna make something for Christmas, you're gonna make something for the Kwanzaa, and then there was Hanukkah and one other one. I can't remember. Maybe it was like I don't remember. But you never learned anything about any of them. We just like I'm pretty sure they taught us how to fold a Jewish star, and they were like, "There you go. Now you know." And I was like, "Okay." So I think that's really cool. It's kind of interesting. I don't know. Also, Glut, I don't know if you know. I don't know anything about the dude that they said invented it or whatever. I don't know. There's a guy who I guess lack of a better word, invented the Kwanzaa, and apparently he's problematic. I didn't know though. So maybe, who knows? I'm just trying to get my fucking playlist to play. Can I just play a good playlist, please? Thank you. Anyways, good fucking morning, everyone. I hope you're doing well. Happy Wednesday. Maybe. Good morning. It is a mud hell where we are right now. I was almost late this morning because I literally had to. I can't explain to you guys the amount of clay rocks that get dragged into my house by the dogs, but I literally couldn't function. I had to clean the carpets. It's like living in a barn. That's what it feels like. It's like living in a fucking barn. And I have to let my dogs outside. Every time I let them outside though, it's all over again. It's a barn again, and it's just fucking infuriating. And I can't do it. Like even Zach was stressed about it last night. Normally this shit, like the dirt and stuff doesn't bother him like it bothers me, and it was bothering both of like, it's uncontrollable. It's just fucking infuriating. I hate it so much. Oh my God, Doc Crimbo the ads ran late. Oh my God, that fucking pre-roll. It's almost over. It's almost over. I won't do anything. It ran late. I apologize. Is the ad over now? I'm so sorry. That pre-roll was supposed to run while I was playing music and making coffee and stuff. I apologize. I am so sorry. Um, on the note of ads, if you didn't know, I did back out of the ad thing. I don't know what they even call it, the ad incentive thing with Twitch or whatever. I'm so tired of talking about ads all the time. Like, I'm still gonna run a 3-minute bundle once an hour because it's keeping Twitch alive, but I'm not required by contract to do any amount of ads. They were literally trying to push me. Ad incentive program, that's what it's called. Yeah. Ads are done. Okay, thank fuck. So, Doc Crim, just so you know, I backed out of the ad thing. Yes, a 3-minute bundle is going to run every hour because that's every channel on Twitch. Like, that's just necessary to keep Twitch alive. But I backed out of the whole ad thing because they were literally so the way it worked before is we signed a contract for 2 years. And it was like, for 2 years, run a 3-minute bundle of ads once an hour, and we'll give you a little extra money. And it was dope. But now what they're doing is every month they propose a new ad incentive. And they're like, okay, so this is how many hours you streamed last month, and these are how many people watched you. We'll pay you X amount of dollars if you run X amount of ads. But I don't know if they're doing this to everybody else, but for me, all of my offers are 2 3-minute bundles per hour, which is still less ads than you'll get in with like TV or anything. But I feel like I'm just talking about ads all the fucking time. I'm either apologizing for them running, or I'm apologizing because I'm about to run one, or I'm apologizing because one ran on accident or something, and I'm just so tired of them. But I'm very grateful for those who watch them. Seriously, like if they drive you nuts, get a fucking ad blocker. I am not opposed to that. 3 years ago today, you broke your arm? How? Your elbow? How? How? Oh, I appreciate you, but seriously, like oh my God, these are the gingerbread houses that Zach and I made for Christmas. They say they say fuck ass. Zach's. Zach made this on Christmas. It's so bright and white in here. It says fuck. He did a cook. This is actually made out of cookie, which is crazy. Mine doesn't look too good. That side's okay. I like the drip, but I ran out of frosting glue, so it's kind of shit, but what are you gonna do? It was really fun, and that's what matters. A candy fell off. I don't want my dogs to eat that. Slipped on ice. Oh my god. Dude, Nick, I don't know if I've ever told you guys this. I get the weirdest feeling in my feet when I walk on ice. It's so bizarre. I don't think I've ever fallen on ice and hurt myself seriously that I can remember. But if I walk on a slippery surface, like a slick ground, or if I walk outside in the ice, the soles of my feet clench so hard. I get like a Charlie horse in the like arch of my foot. I'm not slipping or falling or anything. It's not like a reaction to slipping. It's just the moment I know I'm on a slippy surface, my feet like go, "Ugh," and it hurts. It's so weird. I don't know if anyone else experiences that. I don't think I've ever fallen, but apparently my body is ready for it. If it happens, good morning, Kinger. How are you, love? Oh, this is a good song. Zach woke me up with a fart this morning. That was alarming. Have you ever been woken up with a fart that smelled so bad it woke you up? That's what my alarm didn't go off this morning. That's what did it. Working? How's work? Is it too bad? The book on chronology I ordered months ago finally arrived today. It's about time. God damn it. I'm not high enough for you yet. That's beautiful. Thank you. Death fart alarms are bad, man. We just had pasta last night. I don't know why his fart. I mean, damn, dude. Bad. My cousin growing up was a literal shit monster. Oh, no shit. Like, just horrific. All my brothers had horrible farts growing up. Like, they would pin us down and fart in our mouths, and you would almost literally want to die. Like, they were those hot, silent farts. Pitsy, I'm a freak of nature. I don't fart. I know it doesn't sound real because every girl in the world is like, I don't fart. I cannot consciously remember the last time I farted. Zach even like will vouch for me. During my sleep, he stays up until like 5 in the morning, so he's awake in bed with me the whole time I'm asleep, like usually on his laptop or whatever. I don't fart. I don't know what it is. I'm broken inside. I wish. If it's ever gonna happen, I'm gonna go live, call my mom, and like make sure it's recorded on all platforms. I don't know. I wish I could payback fart. I've woken to snores, but since COVID, I can't. Oh my God, you still can't smell? What the fuck, Cocky? You're not high enough for me? That's a good thing you missed the first joke. It was way worse. God damn it, I missed a joke. Fuck. Good morning, Erica. How are you? He once clogged out a toilet with a shit the size of a small Nerf football. He could have ripped out his asshole. That's insane. Oh my God. That's like a heroin shit. We called my mom the poop smith when the boys were babies. They always waited to poop until at grandma's. Oh my God, that's beautiful. Pressing X for doubt. I'm serious. I wish I wasn't. I mean, Zach literally, this was like 2.5 years ago. I apparently farted in my sleep. Like one little like he recorded himself. I'm not so it's all I get. I wake up in the morning and I have a video of Zach's face in my Discord, and it's him going, "Oh my God, babe, you just farted. Holy shit." That's the one time it's ever happened. That's how excited we are for it to happen. I burp a lot though. My pubs is a poster child for silent but deadly. All my brothers could. Oh my God. And they would like, what's it called? Dutch oven you. They would just fart a million, like they would just sit on the couch and marinate in a million silent farts under a blanket, and then they'd grab you and shove your head under the blanket. I think it's called a Dutch oven. It's fucking terrible. I've driven my husband out of bed at night with my farts. Dude, I mean, what do you do? Zach drove me out this morning. I was like, I can't, I'm going to fumigate myself in here. I must get up. The CK evidence of flatulence film will be up there with Zabrudder or the Bigfoot film. I'm serious. It will be. I don't know what's wrong with me. I can smell just not poop smells. Oh my god, lucky you. And you work with kids, and kids fucking stink all the time. Lucky you. I wish. You'd be a perfect nurse. I wish I was lying too. I don't doubt it. Honestly, I've seen shits that look like a football. They usually come out of people who are on painkillers or heroin, but I can't. Oh. Morning farts are all sound, no smell. I call him the foghorn. Oh, I love that so much. That's normally Zach, to be honest. Like, he's a fart machine. He farts constantly. They're hilarious. I think farts are funny. I'm not offended. But we have a very small bedroom, and when he just starts farting so bad that it's waking me up, I must awaken. I must get out. For posterior sake. It's facts. My mom and my sister fart constantly. My sister will just look at you and go, "I farted." My mom has walking farts. We'll be walking through a grocery store, and this is for as long as I can remember. This isn't just an aged thing. When I was young, walking through a grocery store, and as my mom's walking down the aisle, you'll just hear like, and she'll just go, "Oh, I'm broken." I don't know. Maybe I have a gaped asshole and they just leak out without a sound. I don't know. I don't fart either. What I do cannot be in any sense called a fart. It's far, far worse than a fart. It's like sulfur and brimstone had rough sex, and this is the smell that lingers. What the fuck? It's like the brimstone of all farts. So fucking sick. Nah, this kid just ate a lot. Lived next to my grandma, so he'd have dinner at home and then go to grandma's for second dinner. All my brothers used to do that all the time. Literally, growing kids eats boys. My mom, I remember when my brothers moved in, because they're my stepbrothers. They moved in when I was really young, though, so they're my brothers. But my mom would go to Costco and she'd have to get like those huge boxes of corn dogs, like frozen corn dogs, and just like ridiculously cheap food because my brothers would literally plow through it in 2 days. Like they just never stopped eating. It was insane. I mean, I ate a lot. I grew big, but Jesus Christ. My dad had the walking farts. My mom is deeply offended going anywhere with him. Oh my god, my dad just laughs hysterically. We all just laugh. Like it's just become a characteristic of my mom that she just leaks farts. And then just those walking farts are hilarious. Thanks to Concerta, I ate very little. Oh, that can be, you still have hunger though, right? Oh my god, Chronicle, I don't know if you were in chat the other day. Dude, Lizzie, what was she at the doctor for? Fuck, she told us this story the other day in chat and I almost died. I cannot remember why. Oh, I remember. Okay. So you know our my good friend Lizzie, who I just went and visited in London. She has a genetic brain thing where her brain, like, there's swelling around her skull and all this. Anyways, long story short, she was heading towards getting brain surgery, which was really fucking scary. Like, nobody wants to get that. We've already had Vissy had to get brain surgery. Like, that's enough of my friends to have brain surgery in one lifetime. But she started a new drug, an experimental drug for it, and it's working, which is amazing. So she's no longer on the track for surgery. But I shit you not, what her doctor said to her, this was like last week or the week before, was something along the lines of, and thankfully your medication causes anorexia, so that's exciting. Like she's being prescribed happily by a doctor anorexia. I'm not like I wish she was here. She could quote it exactly for you. She'll probably show up later today. It's fucking wild. I have no idea. I can't. And like this is the thing, her doctors have been like multiple of her doctors, I won't say all of them, but multiple of her doctors keep coming at her like, sure, you have a genetic brain disorder that's causing swelling and migraines and fatigue, but maybe you should lose weight. Like that and I'm sure you guys know my qualms about this. I am such a big I cannot stand the bias of like, "Oh, you're kind of overweight. That must be the root of all your problems." It's not real. I've never seen a nurse or a doctor actually do that, but I hear about it a lot. It's happened to my sister. It's happened to multiple people. And exactly, bashful 100%. If your doctor brings up BMI, get the fuck out. Lose weight is the answer for every single thing. Exactly. And it's not. Like, the fact that a doctor said, "We know your disease is genetic, but maybe lose some weight." What the fuck? I mean, none of it makes sense. It's so fucking infuriating to me because that's gonna make people who are a little bit overweight, which is basically every single one of us, myself included, anyone who's a little bit overweight is never gonna wanna go to the doctor because we're not gonna get an answer. You're just gonna tell me I'm fat. I have migraines. I guarantee it's not because of my fat ass, but that's gonna make us not go. I mean, seriously, why would we trust anyone like that? It's fucking infuriating. BMI is garbage, though. BMI is I've never like I've never seen a doctor use it ever. If you come in with a weight related problem and you want help losing weight, absolutely we're fucking there for you. But in no way, shape, or form should someone just be looking at your body and being like, "Oh, you're broken legs because you're fat." Like what? That's what it feels like when I hear these stories. It's so fucking stupid. It's just it's ignorant. I get the "you're fat so" reasons. You can't breathe, it's your fault. I can't with that. I cannot with that. That's just tell me you're uneducated without being uneducated without telling me you're uneducated. I had these issues when I was working out daily and weighed 145. I mean, seriously, Chronicle, you guys have seen my little sister, Sarah. She looks exactly like me, if not a little skinnier. The bitch does yoga every day. She's going on a yoga retreat soon. She can do handstands. Like, no, she can literally do a handstand for quite an extended period of time. My sister is fit as fuck. And last year, she went to California for a wedding or something. And this happens a lot. So anybody that experiences this is good information. Anytime you take a really quick flight, i.e., the plane goes to full elevation and then drops really fast, your body can do some weird stuff, i.e., water can get stored in weird parts of your body. So I'm sure a lot of us, myself included, when you get off an airplane, your hands and feet are swollen. Have you ever noticed that? Like if you wear rings, you can't get your rings off sometimes if you get off an airplane. So my sister flew to from Washington to California, so real quick, like 2-hour flight. And when she got off the flight, one of her legs was insanely swollen to the point where she had 4 pitting edema, which means that you could push your finger into her leg about 4 centimeters ish, millimeters, excuse me, and take your finger out, and the dent would stay. That's not normal. That's called edema. That's water pooling in your body, you know what I mean? So she got nervous because she's on birth control, hormonal birth control, and if anytime you're on hormonal birth control, you can get blood clots that cause the exact same symptom. And going on airplanes can exacerbate all of that. And so she went to a doctor immediately, and I shit you not, he glanced at her chart, gasped a little, looked at her, and said, "You're just obese." My sister, I mean, I'm not just trying to be flattering. Bitch is skinny. I can snap her like a chicken. You know what I'm saying? Obese. And just brushed her off. Thank fucking Satan she didn't actually have a blood clot or something. But they just sent her home. They did nothing. Nothing. You're just obese. What? One leg was swollen 10 times the other size. I just can't. None of it makes sense to me. It's so I'm so glad I'm not part of that system anymore. Thank you for that. I know you've got chronic fatigue, but how about going for a jog, you fatty? Right? Like, what the fuck? That makes 0 sense. They tried to say they tried to say at work I was almost morbidly obese at 6'2" and 200 pounds. Bashful, I think I've told you this before. My sister's ex was a Marine, and he was like 6'2" and 180 pounds, and I shit you not, he was considered obese, and they wanted him to lose weight. When you're in the military, and granted, a lot of you can probably explain this better than I can because I am not in the military, but from what I've learned, you have to maintain a certain BMI in the military. Otherwise, they start taking food away. Like, they'll ration your food and shit like that to get you skinny again. But this kid, my sister's ex, was just stacked. He was kind of like, had a body type like, I can't, like Brad Pitt or something, you know, where they're just naturally very insanely muscular, have had abs since day one. But he had to starve himself and he had to start running and doing cardio to eat away at the muscle he'd produced because they don't look at anything other than your weight. They didn't look at the fact that all of his weight was muscle and he was like 2% body fat. That's disgusting. That's what leads to fucking eating disorders. Hello, Saber. How are you, love? Not exactly the same, but similar. Hi, Sarah. When I tried to bring up getting an evaluation for ADHD, ASD because I've been having issues with regulation, sensory overload, and my anxiety meds aren't touching anything, his response was, "Get more sleep and take breaks. Practice self-care." Did he just try to teacher-splain to a teacher? That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. What the fuck? That hurts me. That's what my doctor told me is my migraines caused by weight and stress. And then went to a pain MD and he did an MRI and found out that my brain was too big and sits on top of my spinal cord. That's fucking wrong. I must be morbidly obese. I have like 30 to 40 extra pounds. That's the thing. Like, I'm pretty sure my sister probably, like most of us, had like 5 to 10 extra pounds on her body, like everybody else. That, the problem, like, tossing around the terms morbidly obese is not okay. Morbid means that the morbidly obese, the definition of morbidly obese means that the amount of extra weight on your body is killing you. That's what morbid obesity is. The fat is now killing you. You don't just casually toss morbidly obese around. The fuck? Oh, I get so mad about it. Repeat after me. I want it notated in my chart that you chose not to perform further testing. That's exactly what you have to say because it's disgusting what they do. The kind of doctor nonchalance absolutely gets people killed. Yes, clots are very serious business. Very, very serious business. Bashful, yeah, it's 20 to 22% for males. That's insane. That's insane to me. A lot of dudes in the military now get taped. What does that mean? Taped? What's that mean? What do you mean? Oh, like they measure, like they do like a body fat percentage thing. Like the tape measuring, like a tape measurer. Is that what you mean? That's good. I walked out of his office and cried. Also, haven't gone back yet. Probably won't ever. I would never go back to that person. That's Sarah, I'm so sorry. It's just, I don't know how these people keep a job. Same, Chronicle, I've got a little bit, everybody's got a little fat on their body. If fat is necessary for life. Like, fun facts, in order for a female, a person with a uterus and ovaries, in order for a human with ovaries to be fertile, meaning just to have a period, you must be at least 18% body fat or higher. In order to have visible abdominal muscles, you have to be 14% body fat or less. So now let's look at that and someone break the logic for me. Why are we encouraging body forms that are quite literally deadly? That doesn't make any sense to me. There's a thing. I mean, a lot of people are naturally thin. I'm not trying to judge at all. But taking someone who's not naturally thin and telling them they need to get to this unnatural, unhealthy weight is infuriating. I'm angry about it. That's so fucking infuriating. Oh my God, Leaf, do it. Why not? I'm 450 pounds and had my doctor tell me he couldn't believe I have diabetes or high blood pressure. Wait. He couldn't believe it? Oh, he couldn't believe you didn't have them. Oh my God, I was reading it wrong and I was like, what the fuck? Well, that's the thing. Like, fat on your body doesn't equate to unhealthy. And we all know this. I could chant that all fucking day. We all know it, but society does not reflect that knowledge at all. So like in our heart, we know you literally around your heart, you need a layer of fat. It cushions your heart so it doesn't get banged up against your sternum and shit and get bruised. You need fat in your body. Fat is it's a molecule that's necessary. It keeps us warm. It cushions our organs. It cushions our bones. It lubricates our joints. It is fucking necessary for life. The stigma against it is stupid. Also, everybody likes to pet something soft in bed. For males, they do waist and neck. For male, the hips, bust, and neck for females. Females are allowed 30 to 32% fat. Good. I'm glad that's at least something. They weren't doing taping when my sister's ex was in the military, and I felt so bad for him. Like I'd never seen a man like break down because he thought he was obese when he was very clearly like skinny by all means, just muscular. Live your life, right? Eat a fucking cupcake. Tomorrow's never guaranteed. It's all BS. If you feel okay, good. Live your fucking life. My question is, why is the army hurting people to enlist and being like, yeah, I'm going to kick you out because you have 2 extra pounds? Why wouldn't you want a super muscular person in the military? Wouldn't you encourage that muscular body type? He had to, so if you don't give a fuck about like working out and shit. So If you build a lot of muscle, I learned this because I watched some documentary on bodybuilders, but when you build too much muscle, then they have to run it off. So literally when you run cardio, it will eat the muscle away. So they'll like sculpt their body by building the muscle up and then burning it away and then building it up and then burning it away by running. And that's not healthy either. Like that's horrible for your body. Oh my God. Sadly, the only place I was eventually thin was my hairline. I'll never be thin. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I'm very at peace with my body at this point. My fat cushions my heart. That's why I eat when I'm sad or high. Same. Vissy, good morning, my love. How are you? And I got a little jiggle on my titties, which makes me kind of a little sad. I mean, nobody loves their body, right? But just because you're not your type doesn't mean you're ugly. Your word is my command. Eat the cupcake. Seriously, I've had patients in the surgical ICU recovering who won't eat the food we bring them because they're on a diet. If our surgeons have to take your pectoral muscle and spin it and sew it onto your jaw, it's time to eat now. The diet doesn't matter anymore. You know what I mean? Exactly. You can do everything right. Kona, that is the most amazing literally, I couldn't have said it better myself. You can eat healthy and do everything right and still get sick, so enjoy life. I have seen hundreds, if not thousands of examples of that exact thing in the hospital and otherwise. In the hospital, I've had multiple trail runners, like ultra marathon runners, just drop dead. CrossFit stars drop dead. They are the epitome of health. Congenital heart issue or something. It doesn't matter. Like being perfect. My mom, vegan, like dirt worshipping, tree hugging hippie, got breast cancer. There is no perfect. There is no recipe to lead a perfect, healthy life. Live life, have a good time, try to be nice to people. Also, holiday pies are back in McDonald's. Wait, why were they out of them? Well, here's the thing, Bashful. Do you really think there's such a thing as just I'm fat? Why do we say that? I'm fat. Like, do we identify by one fucking molecule on our body? Technically, you're water. If we really want to talk about what majorly makes up people, you're water. Nobody's fat, because fat is water. Like, you know what I mean? I hate when people say, I'm fat. You're not defined by a fucking molecule on your body. I eat once a day and snack a little here and there. Apparently, that's intermittent. I do the same thing. I've been told the same thing. Are they actually atrophying the muscles, or is it compression of the muscle fibers into dense pink muscle from red? So what the documentary explained and what these people said is that when you like they'll build too much muscle. It was about a lot of women and they like, you know, it's I'm not talking powerlifting, it's like the bodybuilders, so they just like stand on stage and like whatever. So if they get too much muscle, then they run and do a shit ton of cardio to their body metabolizes the muscle for energy because they have no fat. They have no fat on their body, so their body starts eating the muscle to do cardio. That's how they explained it. I don't know how legit that is. It was interesting though. I spent 11 days in the hospital, couldn't eat for 9 of them. Oh my God. A ruptured ileum? How? How? Can I ask how? I do not recommend that diet. No shit. Did they have to take anything out? Oh my God. Oh my God, that package is beautiful, Vissy. That's fucking amazing. I stopped watching Biggest Loser when the chick looked like she was anorexic. Which one? Because same. I was addicted to Biggest Loser. Biggest Loser is the reason I started running, actually. I got inspired to start running off that show, but there was one girl, same, and she looked literally, she was just bones at the end. Also, excuse me, if you look into The Biggest Loser, every single contestant has gained every single pound back. They weren't taught anything. They were literally just bullied into exercising until they vomited for a certain amount of time, and then when they left the show, they all, like, went back to their normal ways. It made me very, because that's not healthy either. Going, like, fluctuating between extreme weights like that is almost worse for your body than just maintaining a heavier weight. I'm so water. I'm so fucking water today. What gets me is when people have an unhealthy lifestyle, go to diet, lose weight, and then go back to the lifestyle they had. Exactly! That's the thing. They're not taught anything. Like, it's, when you are capable of eating to the point where you are what doctors call, like, morbidly obese, that's an addiction. It's a chemical thing in your brain. Nobody's body is gonna drive them to eat that amount of calories when you're not using them, you know what I mean? Like, when we work out or if you, like, go hiking or something, at the end of the hike, you're, like, super fucking hungry because you just burned a bunch of calories. It's all in the mind. Like, I firmly believe food, sugar, all that, it's highly an addiction. So, if you I mean, how do you compare it to, like, any other addiction? If all you do is bully someone into stop doing something, and then the moment you're not around anymore, they're gonna fucking do the thing that made them happy again. You're just being a bully. They didn't teach them any skills. There's a really good line in a Beyoncé song. I can't remember the first part of it, but the second part of the line is it's the soul that needs a surgery. It's called Pretty Hurts. If you've ever heard Pretty Hurts, it's the soul that needs a surgery. It's a good song, but it's pertinent. I mean, like, I remember when Eliza was getting her stomach surgery, most patients have to go to, like, months of therapy before they can ever get anything done because it's in your brain. Like, it's not your body doing that. And that's no shame. Like, our brains suck. They love to get addicted to bullshit. They starve themselves and the body still needs calories, so it starts breaking down muscle. That's exactly what they do. Yeah, it's gross. It's not good for you at all. And then their breath smells like an anorexic. Was it sisters? I know the exact one you're talking about, Cocky. I can see their body. I just can't see their face. And you know how they would always do like that presentation at the end where everybody comes out in pretty clothes and like stands on stuff? Stands on like little platforms. She just was bones with skin hanging off of it. It was horrible. They made them all literally, if you ever watched it, Phoenix, it's gross. They take a whole bunch of people who, I mean, I think they volunteer for it. Like, they apply to be into Biggest Loser or whatever. It's been ages since I watched it. But, literally these people come in at 450 pounds, a 5-foot woman at 300 pounds. That's a lot of weight. And they're like, go run 2 miles on day one. Or they'll put them on those, bikes, what are they, spin class bikes, and just vomit them to death. The first day, and none of that's healthy. None of that's okay. You I don't need to explain that, right? There's a big difference between taking a 160-pound body and running and a 450-pound body and running. You're gonna destroy all your ligaments. Your knees are gonna get destroyed. Like, it's not sustainable. It's unhealthy. Look at my dog. Irresponsible. It's irresponsible. All that shit fucking infuriated me. Catboy. Good luck. Oh my God, good luck, Catboy. Good luck, my love. I think my dog's after shit. God damn it. Good morning, Najeel. How are you, love? Jillian can suck a dick. 100% yes. I don't remember what it's called, but when I was super young, I was diagnosed with that thing where the body eats away at itself, and I don't eat a ton. So I'm like 6'5", and I'm 160 pounds. So I've given up entirely and worried about my weight. I don't remember. I think I know what you're talking about, though. When I started working from home, I wanted to make some changes, eat a healthier breakfast, and get some exercise in. And I did it purely for me to feel better. Lost 25 pounds. Honestly, I think that is the only way. Like, it's like forcing someone to quit smoking or quit drinking. No one's going to quit something unless they want to. You know what I mean? And forcing people to fucking, like, vomit on a spin bike when they're 450 pounds and at the peak of their unhealth, it's not just weight, like, they're out of shape and their joints aren't very stretchy. Like, it's just going to be a bad thing. I had a friend who was a great candidate for the show, even auditioned for it. Oh, and they didn't get in. I mean, I'm kind of glad they didn't. Because it's just, it didn't seem like they taught them anything. There was nothing sustainable about it at all. I know, my poor dogs. I think they do. You guys need to go outside and go potty? You need a potty? Yeah? What's up? What are you doing? You gonna fight now? Poodles are weird. Big hug. Don't knock my coffee over. All right, let's go outside. Let's go outside. Go. They're gonna knock my fucking coffee over on my keyboard and I'm gonna freak out. I love them so much. They're just the best. All right, quick break real quick. Apparently my dogs need to take a piss or something. Chaos family, I know. Ugh, it's sanctioned torture. Oh my God, I want to continue this conversation. It's important to me. This stuff is so unhealthy and I hate the culture that we've created around it. It's disgusting. I'm just gonna pee my dogs real quick. Stand up and stretch your dicks and get some coffee. I'll be right back. Short break. Just pissed my dogs. Anyways, sanctioned torture. That is the best way I've ever heard it described in my life, because that's what it looks like when you watch that fucking show. But I did, like, I've told you guys, like, I gained a lot of weight when I was in college, and got uncomfortable with my body. And I got to a point where I was like, I don't know what to do. Like, I've always worked out and done sports and stuff like that, but I was eating my feelings, and I got just uncomfortable. I felt like I was bursting out of my skin. And that show, I started watching that show, and it inspired me because I felt similar to those people. I felt like I was stuck, like I didn't know how to start or get going or whatever. And it did, like, seeing these people who are way over, like, morbidly obese a lot of the times, being able to run 2 miles, I was like, I can fucking run 2 miles then. Like, anybody can. And I'd never run before. I was like, fuck, dude, I can't run. Like, running a mile seemed out of this world. I was just like, what the fuck? And that got me going. But then the more I watched it, the more I was like, the way they're going about this, like, once you start doing the exercise, you're like, it's unhealthy. It's not good for you. Running is not good for you no matter what. Anybody will tell you that. Your doctor will tell you that. Running's the worst thing you can do for your knees. It's not the best workout at all, by any means. Penis could tell you that. Like, weightlifting, it's all about weightlifting, growing muscle, because muscle burns calories while you're sleeping. But they just, man, they really beat themselves up. It's crazy. Da Bully, good morning. How do you handle your feelings? With a large fry and a Sprite in my car alone. It's much better to walk. Yeah, it's much, like, human, like, ages ago, we were built for stamina running and chasing down, prey and stuff like that. But nowadays, especially if you're built like me and you're tall, it's really bad for your body. Say it on again, you silly fuck.
Thank you so much for subbing to the class, keeping the class alive, and giving Inanus swings for 23 months.
It's almost 2 years! Holy shit, thank you for that resub, love. Go forth and be consensual in every way. I appreciate you. Good news, the company I've been contracted at offered me an FTE position last week. Fuck yes. As of this Friday, I'll be a full employee. Oh my God, are you excited? Do you like the place? Yes, you can ask advice. Absolutely. If you see me running, it's probably for my life. I mean, same. I watch this personal trainer gets as unfit as they can and gain as much weight as they can, and they do workouts, and those people who are overweight and shares the experience with them, like, the trainer just ate themselves to death. That doesn't seem very healthy. Chronic back pain. Oh my God, though. I pulled my back buckling my seatbelt once. My body was made to deadlift 500 pounds. I'll get there. Same. That's the thing. I wish I had room to have my own, like, gym. I hate going to the gym. I hate gyms. I don't want to work out with other people at all. I prefer weightlifting. I think it's fun. Good morning, Mango. It's unfeasible. Running is free. It's not a big deal, but people keep telling me I sound exactly like Drew Carey, especially over the phone. I mean, is that a bad thing? No shit, my mom's voicemail is still my voice. It's been my voice for like 10 years, and nobody can tell the difference between us. At all. No one's asked a question. It used to be my sister's voice. No one asks. It's crazy. Voices are weird that way. Fighting with my metabolism with hypothyroidism isn't easy. I found that muscle gain and less sugar has been the key. 100%. I mean, and that's the other thing. Your metabolism is another thing. Everybody has a very uniquely programmed metabolism for their body. Like, everybody has a homeostatic point that their body is happy at. And that's what I mean when I say, like, when we eat ourselves, and I've done it to the point of unhealthy, it's it's something mental going on. Your body doesn't drive you to eat those calories. Weirdly, I enjoy running, but weightlifting, I'm sort of mad. I don't enjoy either. I don't know. I do them out of necessity. I enjoy the not being anxious. So I do it for that. Like, I literally work out so I'm not just like a vibrating ball of all day. I get bored. Honestly, that's why I have to run outside. I can't run on a treadmill. I get so fucking bored. Brendan Fraser looks so fucking good. I'm so thrilled he's back. I always loved him, and I didn't understand why he just disappeared. But I'm rewatching Doom Patrol, and fuck, he's good in that. It's when you wake up in the morning wondering what monster broke insert random body part in your sleep last night and you feel 90. That was yesterday. Seriously, I just I'll go to bed fine, wake up, and my neck can't turn. And I'm like, what happened? Wait, so my question is, do schools force that presidential fitness mile bull crap? I don't know if they do anymore. Do schools Sarah would know. We have some teachers in the chat, actually. If anybody's a teacher or, like, if you have kids, Cocky as well, if you have kids in the system, do they still have, like, fitness, tests or whatever? Because they used to do that to us too. It's not very healthy, but they do it so they can have the same things and, like, food habits and things, so the patient's more comfortable and they learn what it's like. I mean, I appreciate their effort. I do, like, Zach and I were just talking about this the other day. Like, what were we were talking about something particular. Oh, I was saying when I went to college, I was gonna double major in psychology, so, like, I did all the credits for the major for psychology, but didn't apply for the degree because my financial aid was gonna drop me if I did. But long story short, I did a shit ton of psychology classes in school, and the one thing I majorly noticed was that everyone that takes psychology classes is there because they are fucked up, and they're searching to try to figure out what's wrong with them, and then they become psychologists. But honestly, like, that sounds, like, counterintuitive. Why would you want a psychologist that can't put themselves in the space of the, like, mental turmoil you're in? You know what I mean? I kind of get that. I recently did 435. Oh my god, be careful though, penis. You know, you want it to be a sustainable 500, not just a one pull. Time to put a gym in the creepy basement. Oh my god, but I'd have to go down there. I don't wanna go down there. Najeel, thank you for the biddies, you crazy fuck. I was trying to scroll up and find it. I need to lay down so that my stomach Oh, is your tummy hurting you? Take some Pepto or Zyrtec or something if you got it. I hope you feel better. Thank you for the biddies, honey. I just have a comment on something I just learned is still a thing. You kids have to say the Pledge of Allegiance every day in school. What kind of bizarre indoctrination is that? So I've heard this is a thing. I went to a really small school that they didn't do that. Like, I went to I literally, the population of my town was under 1,500 people. It's still under 1,500 people. There were 30 people in my graduating class. Like, so our teachers didn't push that shit, but I've heard that's a thing, that everywhere they have to do that. Are there other countries that have a Pledge of Allegiance? I don't know. I don't think I could do it. I pledge of allegiance to the flag under the United States of America to hold on. I pledge of America. Oh my god, I don't know it because I didn't have to do it past like 4th grade. I pledge of allegiance to the flag under the United States of America to what is the rest? To which it holds one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Did I do it? That's gross. That's what kids have to say every day. I know, it's creepy. I mean, it's a creepy thing, right? It's a creepy thing. And I've heard, like, if you are a Jehovah's Witness or something, you don't have to do it in school. Like, you can just put your hands behind your back, but they still make you stand up. It's so weird. I took some anti-nausea meds, but it hasn't worked well. It might be your stomach acid acting up. That's what I'm saying. Like, Pepto can help. Pepto has activated charcoal in it, and it helps neutralize your stomach acid, and that's usually what's causing a stomach upset, if you've got it, or Tums or something like that. And a Texas pledge? Wait, you have a Texas pledge? Places like China, North Korea. Oh, good. Good. Glad we have things in common with them. And to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all, which is it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. All of it. For us EU people, they always had, that always was weird as fuck that you guys have to do that. I mean, America is pretty weird as fuck. I don't know if you guys have noticed. It's kind of broken. We're broken because of it. That's why we're entertainment, right? We're funny to watch because we're stupid. Or maybe it has, and maybe. I have anti-nausea pills Eliza gave me. They are a godsend sometimes. Yep, another Cold War holdout. We still do. That is weird and creepy. It's weird. I did it K through 12. No shit. Yeah, I think because we had a small school and a lot of my teachers were big hippies, they didn't really push us to do it. There were a couple teachers that I think insisted doing it like first period or something like that, but I never had them. Okay, so this is the Texas pledge. Honor the Texas flag. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to the Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible. Wow. Texas takes America to a whole other level of weird, huh? Texas like America on crack. They really do. It's so weird. And what's crazy is, like, it'd be one thing if Texas was like a state that we were all like, "Oh wow, they're really good at being independent and taking care of their." we've been watching Texas just like crumble for ages now. And it's kind of like America. Like there's still a population of Americans that are like, America! El Belly, my love.
Oh, Belle, you silly fuck.
Thank you so much for summoning the class, keeping the class alive, and giving an A Swings for 14 months. And thank you for thanking BDO. I appreciate you. How are you, my love? Bulletproof backpacks are weirder than the pledge, but the U.S. is like 2 steps off Gilead at this stage. Oh my God. Did you hear that oh my God. This is obviously a lot of you are not from America, so this is probably not something you're like hella focused on, but there was a horrible shooting in Texas recently at in a town called Uvalde. And instead of doing anything with gun regulation or anything like that, they handed out, oh, what is it? Oh, they handed out DNA tests to all the kids so that they would have their DNA to identify their bodies. That's the security they're giving the children. I'm not joking. That's real right now. Entire school was shot up, and the answer is, oh, we'll DNA test your kids so we can identify the bodies this time. Know what I'm saying? It's real fucking fucked. That's what Uvalde is doing right now. America. Elle, I am good. How are you doing? My girlfriend's gotten mad at me for that name I call her. I've been calling her my little Texas power grid because she likes to go down on me. So bad. Made my eye leak. I stopped saying it in 9th grade. My homeroom teacher was a cool guy. He asked if I would, but after the first week, I was like, nah, it's not for me. I understand the need to be united country against enemies, but I'm not selling my soul 100%. Chanting something in elementary school is not how we remain united. It does. I mean, Lena, I'm the same. I follow world news because we are one world, and things happening in Ukraine will affect me in America. And a lot of people like to not think that way. They're like, oh, it's on the other side of the world. It won't affect me. Okay, you heartless sack. Sure. Sure. I mean, US peeps still think it's the greatest country in the world. Oh, I know. My parents. To this day, my mom, anytime I mention moving to Europe or moving overseas, my mom, you know America is still the freest country. She'll still say that shit to me, but she can't tell me why. And I try to be so nice to her because I understand she's like older and she's got an antiquated view. But I'll just I'll very kindly be like, show me how. Show me. Show me. I'd love to see it. But I think it's the older generation, like my parents' age especially, they hold on to it because they don't know what else to do. I don't try to fault them for it. California will fall off into the ocean and Texas will secede. I think California will fall off eventually. I don't know if it'll be in our day, if it'll be in our whatever. What's the word? Lifetime? But the fault lines are there. I mean, it's definitely going to crack. It's very cult-like. I pledge of allegiance to a flag of the United States of America. Like, it's fucking weird. And if you've ever seen that one, oh my God, what was that movie? Fuck. Was it called Church Camp? Some Bible camp, something like that. And it's an older documentary, but it was all about a very creepy, like, camp you could send your kids to. And the Jesus Camp, is that what it was called? Yes. Do you remember the part where it showed one of the kids at home and the whole family, all the kids were homeschooled, of course. And every morning, the mom made them pledge of allegiance to an American flag that had George Bush's face on it. And they were very serious about it. Like, this is not a joke. There's populations of people that this is like a thing. It's fucking wild to watch. Like, we think we're fucked up. Like, oh my God, what? Obviously, you can't be as involved in every single disaster, but not paying attention to U.S. politics and wars mean we could get caught off guard. We've had almost half a country of refugee crisis in Europe because of U.S. defensive wars in the Middle East, and we don't dare look away. 100%. I agree. I mean, I don't think any of us should be closing our eyes to any of that shit. Just because it's not your neighbor doesn't mean it's still human beings. You know what I mean? Like, I matter. Everybody likes to make fun of America and come at us like, oh, America's a trash fire. Look at all the things you're doing. Look, I'm not America. I just happen to live here. Like, it kind of sucks when the whole world is just coming at you like, oh, you're American, therefore. It's like, no, I just happen to live under this shit. I don't have a choice. Just like you don't have a choice. Like, we were born here. but we do the best we can. I mean, I'm trying to do the best I can at least. And I think staying aware of everything going on in the world as best you can without like drowning in the sadness of it, you know what I mean, is worth it. It's important. I've been abroad 5 years, and while I'm still getting used to stuff here, I'm shocked at what my friends go through now that we're all adults and things on the news. Isn't it creepy? It's very creepy. It's very creepy. It's also not a uniting factor in any meaningful way, considering the US is the most divided country in the West. Amen. Yes. Yeah. Erica, I think so too. I don't think it's feasible. But like I don't think it's possible. I don't think it'll ever happen. I don't know. I don't think it's possible for the states to break up like that. But I truly like just watching the country in the limited amount of times I've been in the limited years I've been on Earth. It feels like we try to put these huge overarching laws on a huge amount of people who are so vastly different. It just feels unfair. Like, I may not agree with your politics, but I do think you should be heard. And like, I don't know, man. I think the same thing. I think we'd be better off if we were like little countries, but I don't think it'll ever happen. I don't think it's possible. You know, I don't know. I don't know enough about that stuff to even conceptualize it. Saber, thank you. It's all different because I have a bad attention span, but I tried to make two nails look like a butterfly wing. It didn't work very well. I tried. Thank you though. Me, I can't spell secede. You'd think I know since I'm from the South. Oh my fucking god. It's pretty good though. Same, and I don't judge people from other country. Like your politics suck, but the people that are like suffering under those politics are just people. They're people just like you and I trying to live, and you know, the government gets in the way. Hello, Cocoa Puff. How are you, love? I may be a crazy spider lady, a pothead and the US, but I am not a porn star. Well, I may be American, but I do not hold all of these horrible American ideals. And most Americans do not at all. We're just stuck. Moving's expensive. Did they look okay? It won't focus that close because I have the focus off, but I tried. It's because the lines, like the butterfly lines and the undercolor, they're not contrasting enough. That's what I needed to do different. So I stopped. Literally, I made those two and I'm like, nope, not gonna work. I have to do like a lighter color, but it looks, if it would focus, it looks okay. It's okay. I tried. I tried. But then you look at those states with archaic laws and realize it might not be for the best. I mean, who would go there? I'd be scared of those people. US is in disarray with Brexit and America as well. Well, we know what we are. Germany's been consistently pushing renewable energy as part of their modernization for a while. They're overly cautious about national pride getting in the way of humanity. I love that. I actually I wish my country did that. We're way too accepting. I mean, the fact that it's okay for people just to drive around with like Confederate flags flying on their trucks is very weird to me. That's weird to me. A Confederate flag is like, I don't need to say it, right? It's racism. I mean, you're basically saying, I'm white and I like white people. Look at my flag. I don't understand that. I know our government thinks it's for the people. That's the most dangerous part. Really? Thank you, Maz. I did try. I did try. I appreciate you. Nothing's wrong with being a porn star. I don't think anyone said anything's wrong with being a porn star. Germany has enabled Russian aggression. The reliance of Europe on cheap Russian fossil fuels. Germany itself is heavily reliant on both coal and gas for its general production. Just a couple of the bad things about Germany. I mean, we were doing the same. The reason we've got such a huge gas crisis and everything is because we relied on Russia for everything. Also, we were talking about this yesterday. I think Russia is where we get our helium, and which is why we're like on a national shortage, as well as it being a not renewable resource. It's all money, Kona, right? Exactly. Everything comes down to money. It's all money. People have started firing up their New Year's fireworks already. What the fuck? What day is it? What's the date today? It's the 28th. It's 3 days away. The fuck? I don't get it. It doesn't make it special if you do fireworks every day. That's insane. My cat's terrified of the loud bangs. All dogs are. I hate it. So this because I usually say this around 4th of July, but obviously because it's going to be New Year's, if anybody suffers fireworks, make sure to keep an eye on your animals. Consider them. Consider that they think the world is ending outside. They're not freaking out for funsies. Don't yell at your animal. Like I've seen my neighbors scream at their dogs during 4th of July time, and I'm just like, do you not understand that your dog does not conceptualize of pretty bombs in the sky? The fuck? I know. Twitch has been around longer than the Confederacy. That's beautiful. Is there a flag for I'm white and prefer non-whites? I know, right? I need that flag. What up, John? You're working from Lower Manhattan? How is it? It's also saying I support segregation and the splitting of America. Same. Yeah, it's saying a lot. It's making a lot of statements, but I've seen a lot of people that'll be like, "No, it doesn't. It just means I love the South and I'm proud of being Southern." I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't see any Germans waving around a swastika being like, "It doesn't mean Nazi. It means I'm proud to be German." What? I'm sorry.
What though?
In the bedroom or just hanging out.
None of it makes sense to me. Also, kids here like to vandalize cars and blow up mailboxes on New Year's? Why? Same Chronicle. I just cuddle with them. I put a movie on. We be very quiet. We snuggle in bed together. I try to give them like a very calm environment because I just don't want my dogs to have a fucking panic attack. I always spend New Year's in with my cat, same. She spends it in the bathroom in the dark under the duvet. Oh, poor my heart for your cat. My dogs, we got them May 20th. So they were like 3 months old when 4th of July in America happened, which is our big firework nonsensical nonsense. Freedom. um so my dogs actually don't freak out too much to fireworks. Thank fuck. But they get nervous. I can tell they're like, it's just constant, the bomb shit. And I live in an area where I don't know what it is. I think it's like a cultural Mexican thing. They fucking love fireworks. I live in a almost 100% exclusively Mexican neighborhood, and they fucking love fireworks, which I'm not opposed to if I didn't have animals that weren't having fucking heart attacks due to them. So literally the entire month of June and July is fireworks season here, and it sucks. So many lost dogs. So many. 18th firework for my older cat. Oh my god. I always hold her in my arms because he's frightened. Poor baby. Animals don't deserve that shit. Oh, you work as a mail carrier for the MTA? Oh, nice. How's the weather there right now? Did you just knock something off? I think my dog just knocked something off my desk, but I have no idea what. Your fat ass did something. I don't know. Oh, all 4 come lay with you. 1 out of 4 just chills alone. I totally get that. I mean, at least you're there for them, right? Because it's fun, apparently, Katie, especially if you're their teacher. Wait, oh, I forgot you live on an island. I was like, how the fuck would they know where you live? That's fucked up. I hope your mailbox is safe. It's illegal to wave swastikas in Germany. They understand statues and symbols being in museums. Good. It should be. Like, it's a hate symbol. Same as the Confederate flag, to me, is a symbol of hate. When I see it on someone's car, my instinct is, I don't want to be your friend. My dog will have a total shit fit and fucking dance all over me while I try to keep him calm. Poor babies. Not only that, but the Southern flag, whatever it's called, the Confederate flag, I think is like the name for it, represented traitorous anti-USA people. Why is that something to be proud of today? A whole bunch of people that only fought so they could keep their slaves. The people that, are vocal about flying these flags, they claim they're changing. The meaning of it is not that. That's what they claim. No shit. They're like, I'm not flying a Confederate flag because I'm racist. I'm flying a Confederate flag because I'm proud of the South. That's what they say. But you don't just get to take an evil symbol and just mystically make it something else. We all know that the swastika was commandeered. It was like a Buddhist symbol flipped backwards, like mirrored or whatever. But no one's walking around with swastikas trying to be like, oh no, it's a Buddhist symbol. Like, no one's doing that because we all know what it means. You know? It just seems ignorant. I need Mother Nature to decide how cold she wants to be in New York City, dude. Tell me about it. Don't care about my mailbox, but my car. Will they fuck your car up? That is fucked up. If people were serious about loving the Confederate flag, then they would fly the first one called the Stars and Bars. They probably don't even know what that is. And the majority of those that fought in the South War were poor people, not rich slave owners of their children. And a lot of them were slaves. Yeah, proud of those things the Civil War was about on their end. It's gross. Your heritage is based on hate. That's what it feels like. Heritage, not hate. It's a thing to be proud of your heritage. It's a whole other thing to use it to like knock down an entire people. One reason I quit using TikTok is they would force me into live streams with idiot attention whores with 5 Confederate flags visible. That gives me anxiety. What? What are they? So it's a video though. What are they doing? What are these people doing with? That's fucking weird. I got nothing for that. The flag that's known as the Confederate flag wasn't even the official flag of the Confederacy. It was the battle standard for Virginia, maybe naval flag for Virginia. Yeah, it was the Stars and Bars was the actual one, right? I vote for throwing the island children in the sea, just saying. I mean, if they go after Mickey's car, I'm on board. Except in Asia, where it is, of course, still just a Buddhist symbol. It annoyed me that in some Mongolian music videos, they were censored in Europe. See, that's ignorant. Because who doesn't know that the culture that it came from can still use it, because I don't think it was they never stopped it's a symbol in their culture, right? What? The thing we see around here is black and white American flags. Does anybody know what that is? A black and white American flag? I've never seen one. Like grayscale? I have no idea. That's weird. I blocked those accounts on TikTok and the extreme right-wing accounts too. I couldn't. I mean, that's gnarly. That's gnarly. What? It's such a weird thing to be proud of. Isn't that some sort of Blue Lives Matter? Oh, is it a cop thing? Does it have a blue line in it? If the black and white flag has a blue line through the middle, then that's like a cops lives matter thing. It's essentially them saying cops lives matter more than black people. It's the anti-Black Lives Matter movement flag. So people that are like, why are all these black people up in arms? They're not being shot. They'll like to fly that flag. No, sometimes not all of them. 100%. We can't ever generalize, right? Can't ever. Did I even say generalize? Did I just make up a new word? Yes. Yes, you know what I mean. We can't ever generalize. But in my experience, from what I've seen so far, the Blue Lives Matter is a anti-Black Lives Matter kind of thing. It's a protest to a protest, which is fucking stupid. A cab, and I mean it. If you're a cop and you're not speaking up, you're one of them. It's crazy to me. Like, I always, and I know this is like a character flaw of my own, but I try to give people the benefit of the doubt. Like, in the back of my mind, I'm always like, there has to be some good cops out there. But why? How could you be a good cop and still be a cop and perpetuate the system? It's so hard for my head. Like, I don't know why. Maybe I'm like existentially an optimist with that, because there's no proof of it. But I try to think like there's got to be some good ones out there, but how could you stay a part of that system and still be good? I don't know. It's so bad. Americans' ability to disassociate is amazing. It's phenomenal, is it not? No, I mean the flags. Oh, some don't have a blue line. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I don't know what that one is then. It's used to mean you support the police, red means you support EMS, and green means you support park rangers. Why is the flag black and white, though? Good morning, Genova Love. Just a black and gray flag is representative of fuck around and find out, kind of like the don't tread on me flag. Okay, all right, so it's just a protest kind of thing. So anyway, and that's the thing. I've known a couple wonderful cops. I've known a couple people who are genuinely and they're, they tend to be, like, state troopers and stuff, but I know a couple people who become cops, and they're good people. I don't know them personally anymore to, like, ask. I would love to be like, "What's it like? Like, what's it like being a cop right now?" Because of, all of the shit coming down on them. It's it's like the medical system, right? Some doctors will just say you're fat. You're obese. Everything wrong with you is obese. But all the doctors I've ever worked with are wonderful, caring people that in no way would ever say that to you and are there to get to the root of the problem. But it's if the system is so corrupt, you can't generalize by the couple good ones. It sucks. I know there's good people out there. Like, I believe that your sister's a fucking awesome person. It just why did she leave it, by the way, if you don't mind me asking? Native Americans used to celebrate Thanksgiving. I mean, we grow and we learn, right? Exactly. I think it's more of trying to do the good you can, and it's hard to do any change from the outside because of how inclusive they keep it. Exactly. And that's I struggle with that too. Like, you gotta have good people in there to change the system. Like, you don't change the system by all the good people leaving and just leaving this horde of horrible people that wanna shoot people of color, you know what I mean? I think some think they'll manage to change it from the inside, but I don't think that's gonna happen with the cops already there. I hope. I mean, it probably not in our lifetime. I don't know. I always hope for it though. Some of the black and white flags are like military flags, and if it has blue in it, it's the Blue Lives Matter crowd. Okay. Weird. There's so many different ones nowadays. I don't even know. How could you be a cop and be there instead of and that's I don't know. I don't know. It's like it feels I mean, I'm not a cop, obviously. I have no idea, but it feels like a perpetuated, you know, the world's out to get us, so us cops have to stick together right now, and no matter what, even if we're doing something bad, we gotta have each other's back because the world's out for us, and it's like, you gotta call out your own people. You can't be afraid to be like, "Yes, we're both cops, but I'm gonna take the hit in saying you're a bad cop." And I don't think they're willing to do that because it gives a bad name to all the cops, and it's like, sometimes you gotta be a big enough person to take that hit to, void the pus or whatever. Yeah, Genova, we were talking someone was saying the black and white American flag. I've never seen one, but apparently there's multiple versions. There's a black and white American flag that's just an American like your everyday American flag, but black and white. There's one with a blue line through it, which is the cops one. And then apparently like a green line is you support the forestry foresters, and then what was the other one? Red line, I think, was EMTs. I think. EMTs, I think. Majoring in criminal justice studies and studying under professor who was a cop. As I see it, they face massive retaliation if they speak out. That's literally, Mayo. I wouldn't doubt that at all. That's what I mean. I try to give them the benefit of the doubt because it's like everybody needs a job, right? And chances are you've got a fucking family, and yes, it's horrible, but no one can just walk away from a job and tell their family like, we don't have an income now because a lot of my coworkers were shitty and I didn't want to be part of it, so I just left. I understand, like, that tumultuous pull, like, I have to make money and feed my family. This is horrible. What do I do? I don't know what I would do. I honestly have no idea what I would do. It's a horrible situation to be in. I get it. That's one interaction that potentially goes better for the suspect. Yes. And they're all against the US flag code. What's a US flag code? Oh, the code of the US flag. Yes. Okay, sorry. I was like, "What?" Yeah. Yeah, there's a bunch of laws in the US as to what a flag looks like, how you handle it, like it can't touch the ground, so on and so forth. Yeah. From what she talked about, it was a lot of paperwork and a lot of babysitting adults, but it was difficult because most of the public hated cops. I mean, it's crazy. That I was just thinking about this the other day. Long fucking time ago. I was maybe a sophomore in college or something like that. And one of my good friends that I was in school with, her fiance was going like he was training to be a firefighter or something like that. And it is really fucking hard to become a firefighter. Like you have to basically work for free forever and then, try to get into it, blah blah blah. And I asked her, I'm like, why doesn't he just try to be a cop? Like he wants to help people, like why not be a cop? It's easier to get into. And I shit you not, they both looked at me and go, everyone fucking hates a cop. And I was such an ignorant little white bitch. I was like, really? Ah! that was, I mean, this was like 2006. I grew up where literally my town had one cop. I had one interaction with them. I hated the cop, but I was kind of a bad kid. Like wearing the flag as clothing. Yeah, that's all against the thing, right? It's the us versus them. Exactly. It's the way that politics are going. It's garbage. The irony, all these flag patriots do everything against the standard, respect the symbol they love. I know. Am I streaming from a shop? I'm not. This is like my little art room corner. I know it's super weird. There is a lot going on behind me. This is my crafting table. I just perpetually am moving. I'm like a hummingbird. This is my crafting table where I do lots of crafting. I've got like 50 tarantulas, spiders, frogs, scorpions, crested geckos, and snakes behind me. It's just my little corner of happy. I don't know. Looks like a shop. Could probably run it like a shop. Oh, I'm sure they do, Chronicle. I mean, how could you? There are good cops that want to be good people. There have to be. We've reached the point in America where if you have an American flag of any type on your house car, etc., the first thing I think is you're an asshole. Same. Same. And I hate that. Same, cynical. And that's the thing. Like, I've never liked no one likes cops. Cops, and I know this is, you can't generalize, but in my personal life, I've been in a lot of emergency situations where a normal person would say, call 911. Never in my life have I thought, oh, that'll make this situation better. Never. I have never called a cop. Ever. I've never called the police. Ever in my life. I don't feel safe around them. I don't feel safe around a cop. I feel like a cop's going to show up and I'm going to be like, hey, this person assaulted me. And the cop will be like, yeah, but were you speeding? And I'll get a ticket. I'm not saying that's real, but that's the overarching feeling I have always had when it comes to cops. That's the way I was raised to think about cops. If you see one in traffic, slow down until they pass you. Get the fuck away from cops. They're just there to ruin your day. I've never been taught a cop is there to protect you, ever. And I have a very white family. Just saying. Like, I know that's a perpetuated thing for a lot of people of color, but in my family, I was taught that. All my life. It is my little shop of horrors, seriously. For most people, yes. I know. Don't be scared. I don't hold my spiders. I don't take them out. You'll never, well, you might see like across a cage, but you'll never see one, don't worry. There's no such thing as a deadly tarantula in the entire world, if that gives you any peace and happiness in your soul. I'm going to get going. I want to get my steps in. Ooh, Saber. Walk safe, be safe, stay warm. I love you. Have a good one. Green line is military, red firefighters, one gray line means correctional officer. Dude, all of these, this is just crazy. Yellow is dispatcher, all blue and one white line is emergency services. Purple line means security. That's insane. The only time I ever called the cops, they took me to jail. That's my biggest fear. And I'd rather die than call a cop. Honestly, and that's sick. A car accident. Yeah. And that's the thing. The only car accident I've ever been into, I'm not even shitting you. A trooper was behind the person who hit me. I didn't even have to call the cops. He just pulled over and did it. It was amazing. What? The one time I flipped my car, we didn't even call the cops. We called the tow company. Somehow the exact same thing happened to me, Chronicle, not even shitting you. I flipped my car in high school and I called I've told you guys the story, called my dad. He couldn't come get me, went home. The next day we called the towing company. The towing company called a cop. And it was the next day, literally like 12 hours later. And the cop was like, were you drunk? Prove to me you weren't drinking. I'm like, I'm 16, you stupid fuck. What the fuck is wrong with you? Get my car out of the ditch. That's all he did. He just sat there and tried to pin me. Like, how could he have pinned me? It was 12 hours later. I wasn't drinking, by the way. I've told you guys this story. I was literally driving to like a Bible group because I had a crush on one of the dudes there. But that's all he did. That's all he did was try to pin me drinking. I'll never forget. He was bald with a big old fucking mustache. I'll never forget him. He was a douche. I've liked less than a handful of cops in my life. And one worked with my band and my percussion director. He was great. He took my mom on a date. That's kind of precious. I yelled at this girl in my neighborhood who threatened this 12-year-old black boy. They were going to call the cops on him. I lit her up saying they could be a death sentence and she should never do it. Good for you. Kids don't understand. I don't mind watching him. That's good. I would run a mile and I can't run. If you took him out around me, though, I never do. Honestly, I don't suggest anybody that owns spiders and tarantulas ever hold them They're insanely delicate, like, ridiculously delicate. Tarantulas are like a crab with a water balloon hanging off the end of it, but the water balloon is all their necessary organs. So, like, all of my tarantulas, if I was to drop them any more than 3 inches, chances are they'd pop and die. Seriously. And the vast majority of tarantulas don't have sticky feet to climb. Most of them just live on the ground and dig underground. So the likelihood of me killing my tarantula to be cool and hold one, not worth it. They're fish tanks. I feed them, I look at them, I enjoy them. That's it. Oh my god, though, I have terrible news, Vissy. Vissy spider molted out to be a boy. I have the molt. I'll show you. I'm so upset. I'm so tired of boy tarantulas. I hate them. I'm pissed. The molt's cool. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the molt, but I saw that he molted. Everything sucks. And I went and looked at him and I was like, "No, it's a boy!" Ugh. So upset. He's a beautiful boy. I mean, they're gorgeous. It just means he's gonna die, and that sucks. Like, they don't live very long. But this is Spider Vissy's size and body before he became a boy, which is kind of cool. If you've never seen a spider molt, they literally that's the bottom. They look like a crab, and that's their legs, and they literally just kind of fall out of their old body. It's wild. But Vissy spider is a Nandu chromatus, otherwise known as a Brazilian black and white tarantula, and they have those beautiful stripy legs, and I just think they're really cool. But boys. I have so many male tarantulas now, I can't even tell you. Like, it's over 5, and I'm upset about it. I know, I have, let me see. Of the spiders that I know are male, because a lot of them are babies, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. 5. I have 6 boys. Yeah. Fuck. They just die. It's really sad. Poison dart frogs are super easy to take care of. The downside to poison dart frogs is they eat fruit flies. So you have to start like culturing your own fruit flies. And that's fucking gross. That's the one downside to poison dart frogs. But other than that, they're relatively easy to take care of. And they're not poison because poison dart frogs are only poisonous because of what they eat in the wild. So if they're captive bred, they're not poisonous at all. So, I mean, not that you would touch them because they're so fragile and tiny, but they're not poisonous. Good. Cold. Oh my god, all my animals are so cold. It's been a struggle to keep everything warm. Got my heart rate up fast. Nice! Workout. I know, Pearl. I think about that all the time. Like, they get new skin all the time. I will, Vissy, I was gonna ask you if you were okay with that. I didn't want to just do that, but if you're okay with that, I would love to name a different spider someday after you, because if you're unfamiliar with spiders or tarantulas, female tarantulas can live 35 years. I'm not joking. It's insane. They're dinosaurs. They just crawl underground and live for 35 years. Male tarantulas, 2 to 5. And they usually stop eating and just starve themselves until they fuck. And it's so fucking infuriating. I hate it. Male tarantulas suck. I try to get rid of them, honestly. I try to give them away to people who have females to pair them so they don't just, like, die virgins. It makes me sad. But both of my Nandu chromatuses molted out to be boys. I'm not even kidding you. I have 2 Nandu chromatus, which is easily one of the most beautiful tarantulas I own and one of my favorites, and they're both boys. I'm so pissed. Ugh. Ugh. You grew a penis. You did. You grew a penis, but on your hands. No, they totally do. They'll it's not like a guarantee that they'll munch the males, but most of the time, yes, they do munch the males, which it's not really a bad thing because the males usually die anyways. You know what I mean? So most people, like, if the female munches down on the male after they mate, they're like, that sucks, but he was gonna die anyways. It's so sad. They literally just, like, I could show you a male tarantula versus a female, Males, they're really scrawny and their butt is so small because they won't eat, and they get really spindly and their legs are really fucking long, and they just look homeless. They look so bad. I hate them. Hate them! But yeah, they definitely do get maunched sometimes by the ladies. It's crazy. Actually, the way that you can tell your tarantula is a male is when they molt to their final form, meaning they've molted to sexual maturity, which is what Vissy Spider did recently. So spiders have 8 legs, and then they have 2 little arms on the sides of their fangs called pedipalps. And they're basically arms. They use them to like hold their prey against their face or dig or whatever. And on male tarantulas, what happens is once they molt out to be a male, the end of those pedipalps will become like enlarged and have like this big punching glove on it. It literally looks like little punching gloves. And then what they do is they spin a special web, they sperm all over this special web, and then they just sit there and rub their little fists in the jizz pile for like an hour, and then they just run around looking for a female forever with these jizzy fists. So the second way you tell your tarantula is a male is on the legs, on the very first leg, a little hook will suddenly be there, literally a hook on their tibia of their leg, and it's called a tibial hook. Big fucking shock. But that hook is to hold the fangs of the female off of them so that they can punch her in the belly with their spermy hands. That's all it is. It's literally to prevent them from being eaten, but they usually get eaten anyways. It's just spider's gonna spood, you know what I mean? Really, Vissy? Okay, good. I'd rather have a Vissy spider that lives forever than one that's gonna die. Vissy would have the cutest penis. Dead boy, just be a spider. They got some before going out, exactly. And that's the thing. I've traded 5 males. Like I've had already 5 males before, and I trade them away to other people so that they can breed and not die virgins. Because I just feel bad. Jizz Fist and the 8 Legs of Doom is the name of my penis. They fist, it's not a joke. Seriously, their legs pick up the female by her fangs, and then they sit there and they do this to her belly with their little fists. And the female has like a little pouch on her belly where the sperm will be planted. They don't fuck. There's no penis or vagina involved with the spiders. It's pretty weird. And then the female, get this, female spiders, they don't have to be fertilized right away. They can just hold that sperm for years. And then when they feel safe, they can choose to self-fertilize their eggs. Wild. Wild. Happy holidays, Dark-Yoon Angel. How are you, love? He literally beats pregnancy into his hose. I'm not even, it's serious. Yeah. All he needs to do is bite the ear off. DJ Jizzy Fist popping out his hits faster than punching out babies. It's so real, though. It's wild. I have a few males, and I've had males before, but just recently I got to watch one do the sperm web thing, and it's real weird. Tarantulas don't spin like, orb webs. They don't spin webs meant to catch like flying bugs or anything. Tarantulas spin webs to cover the ground of their enclosure so they can feel vibrations because they're blind, basically. And when they make a sperm web, it's real weird. It's almost like a little picnic blanket. They make a very thick web mat in one corner of the enclosure, jizz all over it, and then they sit there with their pedipalps and they just do this. For hours. I watched. And then when he's done, he like ate the web or something. The sperm web's gone. I don't know what the fuck he did with it, but it's gone. And now he's got spermy little fists. Sick. Female tarantulas collect sperm like Pokemon. No joke. Yes. Yeah. I've had 2 female tarantulas lay an egg sac, and I didn't pair them. Like, these are female tarantulas I bought like years ago. Years, like 3+ years ago. And one of them literally just ate her egg sac. Spiders are crazy. They're weird, and they're prehistoric. They literally are from the prehistoric period. So, for the most part, tarantulas have not evolved since dinosaurs, which is pretty crazy. They're like a powerhouse. Ooh, do you like Doc Martens? I had a pair when I was a kid, and I really liked them. They also sound like a Darwinism thing. If they're too weak to hold off the female, they get eaten before passing on their genes. Exactly, while the stronger ones are more likely to pass on their genes. Yes. Also, if the female deems the male is weak, like you're saying, she can choose to molt after pairing, and the molt will take the sperm away. So, like, If a boy comes up and punches her titties and then she eats him and she's like, "Man, you seemed kinda weak," she can just molt and discard the fuck. By choice. They're literally a perfect organism. They really are. Spiders in general are pretty fucking wild. The more I learn about them, the more they just become mysterious because they're just they're kind of the perfect organism. They really are. It's insane. The real question is, are spiders just land crabs? Yes. Yes. 100%. Yeah, if you actually look at this, I'm gonna turn on my autofocus real quick so it'll focus on this fucking mold because it's driving me crazy that it won't. Hold on. Automatic. This is gonna be terrible for a minute. Just put up with it. Ah! So, this is a molt of the tarantula we're talking about that just turned into a boy. Please focus. Oh, there we go. We got a nice autofocus. So that is the bottom. Sorry, it's swinging around. They're like literally feather light, so the wind blows it. That is the bottom of them. And tell me that doesn't just look like a fucking crab you crack open and eat. Minus the fangs. The pink part is the fangs, obviously, but I think they look like a crab. Please focus. Please don't be a dick. Please focus. Please, please, please. Please do it again. There you go. So you can see the bottom of them. They straight up are a crab. Yeah. They're just a crab. And that's where all their muscles are. That's where all the torsion for their body is. And then what I'm holding with my tweezers, that would be the abdomen, like the soft butt part that sticks off the back. And that's where all the guts are. They're basically a hairy crab, literally. Yeah, they are. It's wild. The biggest difference is crabs are filter feeders, so they have a different type of chelicerae mouth part, whereas spiders have to envenomate and like dissolve their prey before they eat it. That's the biggest difference, but they basically are land crabs. It's wild. I feel exposed. I know I showed everyone your ass. I'm so sorry. It's a hell of a birth control mold, right though? Like just shed. Pro-choice spiders, I'm all about it. Women's rights are important. And your boss is calling. What a good time. Jesus Christ on a dick. Wait. DJ, I saw this earlier, Cine Moose, and I fucking had to go back and read it out loud. DJ Jizzyfist. I had to read it again. That's just, wait. Fucking Christ. I just lost it again. Why is my chat doing this to me today? It's haunting me. It just did the jumpy thing. Don't do that. Fucking stupid. Kona, they're good, just cold. Everything in my house is freezing. Like, everything's okay, like all the, reptiles and stuff, but they don't move at all this time of year. It's real weird. I get very nervous because none of my animals move, but that's what cold-blooded animals do in the wintertime. They just kind of... Nuh-uh. The spiny orb weaver is a crab spider. Oh my god. There you go. It's facts. We figured it out. Please focus. Don't be a dick. It's the same thing Katie says to her spiders when they start molting. I do. Molting is the most dangerous part of a spider's life. They can get stuck and die. Man, I get nervous. I've never had a tarantula get stuck in their molt so far, but I do get nervous. Oh, thank you, Lena. Not to offend other streamers, but it's nice to have a conversation where everything isn't a meme. Oh, I mean, we're plenty memey. I think we get memey, but I just have been, I like learning. I'm a crackhead for it, and I learn from chat every day, and I know they're excited to learn because they've told me, so I like sharing shit. I'm just a big fucking nerd. I like learning. And when I do adopt an animal, I do become very obsessive because in my view, if you're gonna take a life into your hands, you gotta know about that life and take care of it to the best of your ability, right? So I become a little obsessive about it, and I learn every fucking like I can spit out all 50 Latin names for every single one of my tarantulas, probably most of the time, because I'm crazy. But also, it's a life I took into my hands. I'm gonna do the best I can for it. You know what I mean? It's a hyper focus, 100% yes. Oh, I love golden orb weavers. Yes, is that the one? It's like got the big yellow. Wait, are golden orb weavers the huge ones in Florida that everyone's scared of, or are we talking the ones where their butts get like this big and they're round? It's how you grow, right? I love learning all the time about anything. It doesn't have to be something I'm, gonna delve into. But like, for instance, when Mickey comes in and talks about mushrooms and stuff like that, that's fucking fascinating to me. I don't know anything about mushrooms and, the mycology as a greater subject, but I find it very fucking interesting. I love learning about it. Oh my god, Kun, no, totally. He knows it, I know it, you know it. He plays the dumb card hard. He's a very intelligent person. It kind of drives me crazy sometimes how he acts stupid, but he's very smart. I do, Lord Damon, I actually have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 blue tarantulas. Which one are you talking about? I like blue. Oh my god, I gotta turn this fucking autofocus off. That's gonna drive me nuts. Get out of here, autofocus! Why is it so fucked? Get out of here. There we go. Scary. Anyway, sorry. Going for drives with him is interesting. Oh my god, did he show you all the mushrooms I took pictures of and just sent to him on Discord? I literally took pictures of weird mushrooms and was like, Mickey, what are these? Do not eat raw mushrooms. That's the number one thing we've learned. Are those the big ones? Are the golden orb weavers those huge ones? They scare me because they're so big, but they're beautiful. Golden orb weavers are commonly confused with banana spiders. I used to work at a botanical garden in Florida. Oh, lucky. They're the coolest things to find just among exotic plants. I think they're so cool. The first time I ever saw them was in Hawaii, and I ran into a string of the webbing going down a trail to a beach, and I literally thought I hit my head on fishing line. That's how thick the web was for those fucks. I was like, oh shit, someone's fishing line's in the bush. No, it's not. No, it's not. It wasn't fishing line. As someone who likes spiders, that's not something you want to run your head into. Did you really? I've never grown mushrooms. Is it hard? They're legal here now. I live in Colorado where they like legalized shrooms. Good morning, Vile. How are you? Oh no, Bo Shinobi Lobo. I never know what the fuck to title my stream. It's just gibberish at this point. I don't know what to do. Usually ones that get huge are the banana spiders. Oh, those are the ones that are like, that big. Yeah. The orb weavers are similar color, but they actually have a gold web. Okay, I'm Googling it. We have to see that. Stop. Oh, it is different. Oh my god, what? They spin a gold web. I can't really tell. I mean, people are obviously focusing on the giant spiders. They're not showing the smaller one because everybody's like all fucking worked up over these giant spiders this year for some reason. Oh my god, it's gold. Okay, so the picture I found is literally in front of some dude's face that's smiling kind of goofy, so don't freak out. Good morning, Greg, my love. But look, spider warning. I am about to put a picture of a spider on the screen. If you are arachnophobic, please don't freak out. It'll only be for a second. That's a gold web. That's amazing. That's literally amazing. That's gold. I mean, what? The fuck? The guy's face is hilarious. I mean, I just can't. But the gold web is phenomenal. I mean, that's unbelievable. Unbelievable. That's beautiful. So, fun fact, I have a couple spiders that spin pink webbing. I don't know if you can tell. Hold on, I'm looking for a very specific spider. Watch out, bud. That was my computer. Don't freak out. I have no idea why it just did that sound. Don't worry, that was mine. I've never tasted it. That photo is real, yes. There are spiders that big. They're harmless. Just in case anyone wants to know, there is no spider like that has venom that is significant for a human. Just in case you wanted to know. But this right here, this is spider is in here. Not a tarantula. But do you see all that webbing? There's the spider. See the little black ball in there? That's her. So this is one of my prized possessions. This is one of my velvet spiders. If you've been in my channel for any amount of time, you know what's up. These are my my babies. I love my velvet spiders. I have 3 because 3 of mine molted out to be boys and they died, which is super sad. But if you could see, like, my camera's obviously not gonna focus on this. The webbing is like a bundle. That's all web. That's all her webbing in there. And it's pink. It's cotton candy. It literally looks like cotton candy. My lighting is not going to do it justice for some reason. But it's pink. It's like pale pink. They all do it. All the velvet spiders, they have this pale pink webbing, and I just think that's the coolest, weirdest thing. But yeah, this is a spider, not a tarantula, and they hang upside down and look like a little ball sack. They're pretty funny. And sometimes anytime you see like the black, that's her. She's just a big black spider, but she's very hard to see. There she is. You can kind of see her in there. And her big ass. Harmless, not deadly, just a little spider, but they're very, very interesting, cool, unique spiders. On the topic of mating, velvet spiders, when they pair, the female, the moment she becomes pregnant, her body starts to break down. She starts to die. And then she lays an egg sac. And then the moment the babies are born, the only organ left in her body is her lungs for breathing, and they just eat her. So if you pair a velvet spider, you better say goodbye. And that sucks. So I haven't paired any of mine at all because I don't know if I'm ready for that. But they're very cool, and they have this crazy ass webbing. But I do have 6 blue tarantulas. I'm pretty positive the one you're talking about is the Poecilotheria metallica, otherwise known as the Goody Sapphire tarantula. That one's probably the most famous for being like blue. Like she's behind me actually. She's in this enclosure. She's in the corner right there. That is my big Poecilotheria metallica. Her name is Bella. She's one of the first spiders I ever got, actually. I got her when she was an itty bitty little baby, like this big. But when they're mature, I'll show you a picture of a mature one. It's real hard to see mine because she's bundled up in a corner and doesn't give a fuck about anything. But yeah, they're called the Poecilotheria metallica, and they are sapphire blue. Unfortunately, they are critically endangered due to habitat loss. They're completely harmless. It hurts if they bite you. Apparently they have one of the most significantly painful bites of tarantulas. But again, it's like a wasp sting or a bee sting. It's none of them can kill us. I'm gonna put another spider on the screen. Don't freak out. It's just a picture, but that's what they look like. This is what my girl looks like. They're phenomenal. They're literally just. I mean, it almost doesn't make sense how nauseatingly beautiful they are. You know what I mean? They're just blow you away gorgeous. And they have these you see the yellow banding on the legs? It stands out so crazy bright. Like, they're just phenomenal. So I have one of those because they're critically endangered in their natural habitat, so they're very expensive and they're very rare. So that's probably one of the most expensive spiders I own. But then I also have a few of a breed called Pteranopelma sazimi. And they are fucking gorgeous. They are also jewel blue. They tend to be a lot smaller, though, and they're from Brazil. I just accidentally shut off the music. I'm so sorry. They're from Brazil, whereas the Poecilotheria metallica is from India. They originally thought it was from Goody, India, which is why it's called the Goody Sapphire, because it was found on a train in Goody, but it was from a different area that was already clear-cut. So they predict there's literally only 100 of these tarantulas left in the wild due to habitat loss. It's fucking tragic, because nature did that. That is phenomenal. And the fact that it's, there's only like 100 in the wild is wild. It's very sad to me. But my other ones, they're a lot smaller. So Poecilotheria metallica, arboreal. They live in the trees. They climb. As you can see, my girl lives in a vertical enclosure, and she's in the top corner. Whereas you can see most of these enclosures are full of dirt. Most of my tarantulas just dig underground and live there forever. So another blue tarantula I have that I actually think is kind of prettier, I know I'm probably just biased, is called the Pteranopelma sazimi, otherwise known as the Brazilian blue or the Brazilian blue beauty. And this is the Brazilian blue beauty. They are so fucking stunning. I have 4 of these. One of them is a male and I hate it. But the other 3 are females. And you see that fucking red ass? They are just beautiful. I can't get over it. They're way smaller, and I tend to like the smaller tarantulas just because they take smaller enclosures and they're easier to deal with. But they are so fucking pretty. I'm blown away by how pretty they are, and they're not very popular. Not a lot of people have them for some reason, but they're just out of this world, stunning blue, and it's crazy. So, more tarantula facts because I never stop talking about spiders. Tarantulas actually don't have blood. Spiders don't have blood. Their entire body is run off of lymph. It's like a, what's that called? Torsion. They move by torsion, literally just water pressure moving through their body, which is why when a spider dies, it curls up really tight because it's lost all that water and it's dehydrated. So it's not poofed out anymore. That's literally why they curl up to die. It's not like a pain move or anything. And so hydraulic, that's the word. Thank you. I don't know why I always forget that word. They move by hydraulics. And there are a lot of blue tarantulas in the world, and to no one's knowledge, we have no idea why. It has nothing to do with signifying for mating. Most tarantulas aren't sexually dimorphic, meaning the males and the females usually look identical almost, other than a few size differences and like the hooks and genitals or whatever. There's nothing about the blue that would mean anything. We have no idea why there's blue tarantulas, but there's a lot, and they're stunning. It's very weird. Is that what Vile is? Vile's actually behind me right now. Vile's in this. Actually, you might be able to see her. She's been out lately. Hold on. Oh, she just ran away. So this is Vile Mo. Look at this is if you've ever wondered what spider shit looks like. That's spider shit. It looks like bird poop. And I just take a wet Q-tip and rub it off the glass when I need to. But this is Vile Mo, and she's actually gotten quite large. Vile Mo is an Avicularia purpurea, a purple Avicularia or a purple pink-footed spider. So I have a couple pink-foots. I'm sure you guys have probably seen a pink-footed pink-foot tarantula. They have them, like Petco usually carries pink-footed tarantulas. It's like the number one most common tarantula you see everywhere, other than maybe like a rose hair or something like that, or a curly hair. They're everywhere. This is a very unique, special subspecies of those. It's called a purple avicularia. So when she's full grown, she literally will be royal purple. Her whole body will be like metallic royal purple. And she's another arboreal. And she lives in this little tube of silk. That's her right there. That's her special safe place. So she was out right here, like on the glass when I picked it up, and she was like into her little tube. But that's her special little tube that she lives in. But she's actually gotten pretty darn big. She molted recently, I'm pretty positive. Because the last I fed her like 2 days ago, she was out, and her leg spans easily like this big now. It's pretty big. She's getting good size. But they tend to every tarantula has a different growth rate, which is wild. Like I have, like for instance, y'all know I have one tarantula. Thank you for that follow. I have a tarantula named Brittany Bitch, who is she's probably like when I say her name, everybody's like, what? But no, it's fine. She's a bird eating tarantula. There's no tarantulas that eat birds. Like I said, they're very delicate. They're like a soft water balloon. And all those sharp, pointy parts of a bird, they're not smart, but they know enough not to do that. The thing is, they tended to be arboreal, they lived in trees, and were as big as birds. So people thought they were birds, but they were spiders. I have one that's a pink-footed one, actually, not to bring up Pinkfoot again, but her Latin name is Theraphosa apophysis. And I shit you not, I've had her for less than 3 months, and she's bigger than half of my spiders I've had for 5 years. Like, her leg span's already, like, this big. It just depends on the spider. Some spiders, like the Nandu chromatises, the Visi spider, those grew in a year, full grown, in a year. I have some spiders I've had for 3 years that are still this big. Like, it's all of them are different. It usually depends on their environment, how much you feed them, the weather. Desert spiders, aphonopelmas tend to grow really slow. I have an aphonopelma, literally, I got as a baby, and it's still only this big. My little Greg buried himself again. Little Greg was out for like 4 months, and now he's going to go under for a year again. I know it. He's behind me. He's down here on one of these lower shelves. He is a Grammostola pulchra, otherwise known as the Brazilian black tarantula. And they're one of the most coveted tarantula species because they're considered the lab of like the black lab, like Labrador dog of spiders because they're so docile and so slow and they're not afraid of anything, so they don't give a fuck. They'll just crawl. You'll see a lot of people holding them. They're huge. They do get very beefy and they're very black and beautiful. But they grow so Greg, I think, was easily one of the very, very first tarantulas I ever got, and he's only this big. Like some spiders grow at no rate at all, and some of them just fly through life with their pants off. I don't fucking get it. None of it makes sense to me. I think my dogs need to shit, so I'm gonna take them out real quick because they're running at the door. Quick break. Stand up and stretch your dicks. Get something to eat. Get some coffee. I'm gonna get some more coffee because my coffee's fucking cold. I'll be back in a few. Mud hell. Let me tell you. A mud fucking hell. Coffee, same. I just heated up my coffee because I don't think I need another cup. This would be a third. That'd be a lot of coffee for me. Ooh. Ooh, what's the small spider about the size of a spoon that has 4 eyes, viewable in the front, that likes to wave with its front 2 legs? About the size of a spoon? If it waves its legs, I'm guessing it's a jumping spider. Jumping spiders are the only spiders that have, like, tactile movement of their torso, and they can, like, look at you like that. It's crazy. I would guess a jumping spider. They tend to have, because jumping spiders don't spin a web for their prey to get stuck in. They hunt actively, so they have front-facing eyes. All their eyes are on the front of their head. Whereas if you look at a tarantula, all their eyes are on the top of their head. All 8 are literally in a little bundle with a little hair poking out between them. It's hilarious. They look like alfalfa, but their eyes are terrible. Their eyes are basically just a sense like when it's dark or light out. Whereas jumpers, their eyes are front-focused because they hunt. They like actively hunt that they jump, you know? Of a great burn. Oh my God. Greta Thunberg's Twitter response to Andrew Tate is the best so far today. Oh my God, Lena, let me give you a permit. Yes. Let me give you a permit. Yes. Oh, show me. I'm so excited. Peacock. It's a peacock. Is it the peacock spider? That's the one that literally, Vissy gave me a painting of one for Christmas. Hold up. I got to pull it up on the right monitor. Oh, dude, why not? It's nice here too. It's just muddy and disgusting. Like I don't want to go outside because it's gross, but it's nice weather. I mean, it's warm. Yes, the peacock spider. I'm not even kidding. Vissy gave me a painting of one of these for Christmas. It's gorgeous. But this might be the one you're talking about. But all jumping spiders have forward-facing eyes like that. Yeah. Let me read this. Hold on. Okay, so. Oh my God. Hello, at Greta Thunberg. I have 33 cars. My Bugatti has a W16 8.0L quad turbo. My 2 Ferrari 812 Competizione have, Jesus Christ, 6.5 liter V12s. This is just a start. Please provide your email address so I can send a complete list of my car collection and their respective enormous emissions. And Greta Thunberg responded, yes, please do enlighten me. Email me at smalldickenergy@getalife.com. That's fucking gorgeous. Yeah, so if you didn't know, this is I actually very, very recently learned this I just brain farted. Oh, I just learned this myself. So if you ever want to post a link and you don't want it to look super long, I honestly, as long as chat's not moving too fast, it's fine. But if you look at your link and you just like scroll from the end of the link all the way until you hit the very first question mark in the link, you can delete everything after it and it still sends you to the right link. It's crazy. I know. I learned this too. I didn't know. I was a big fucking proponent. Not a proponent. I was a sinner of the large link because I had no idea. No, it's totally cool. I didn't know either. I literally learned this in the last couple months. It's a new thing. It's all links, right? Yeah, all links. You can delete anything after the very first question mark. It's kind of magic. Chat taught me this too because I was a big sinner of the big link. I had no idea. So if you ever want to do it, now we know. Doesn't bother me. But yeah, this is the peacock spider. Is this the one you were talking about? This guy? Because that's a jumping spider, yeah. It's a peacock jumping spider, and they're crazy. They actually, like, flatten their belly and move it around to, like, attract their mate. It's fucking weird. Let me see. You sent me the link to it. Yep, so it's a jumping spider. There are millions of different I mean, probably not millions, but there are a lot of different kinds of jumping spiders. Their Latin name tends to start with Phidippus, so I would say it's probably a Phidippus something, but jumping spiders. Anytime you see one of those little spiders that can move and look like this with its torso and it has all those front-facing eyes, jumping spider. But there's so many different kinds. Like the peacock jimmy spider is definitely one that's kind of famous, but I don't know all of them. There's just so many kinds. It's crazy. Silver Zen, thank you so much for subbing the class, keeping the class alive and giving names swings, you silly fuck. I appreciate you. They're so cool, right? Okay, let's watch it then. If you guys don't mind, I love watching animal videos, but even I just put that together thinking about the music. Like that music is so purposeful. Fiddle and jazz, the music created by Black people and brought to America, like that is pretty wild. That's damn. The sad part is the slaves' conditions they're showing nowhere near as bad as this. Slaves were stacked like cordwood. Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure it was fucking. I mean, they weren't considered humans. I mean, they literally treated them like wood, right? Like they were basically just a product. It's disgusting. Yes, very much Hunt Showdown. It's like that insane like intensity of like the like that fiddle, but then that jazz that was going in the background, man. That was it's sexy and like horror jazz. Yeah. That's a really good way of putting it, Mr. Fox. It's horror jazz. I liked it a lot. There are diagrams on proper slave storage. That's fucking sick. The I believe Anansi has always been represented as a peacock spider, colorful and flashy, but maybe that's just me. They said the peacock spider is Australian. I think Anansi is an African mischief god of one of the cultures. I'm again ignorant American. I don't know exactly, but I don't know. I don't know. But they said there's over what was it, 50 species of peacock spiders. So they're oh my god, those are the diagrams. That is fucking disgusting. Ew. Oh, wrong screen. Big ol' fucking ew. 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 Norway has ancient fiddle traditions too. We have a tune called Thanatulin. Thanatulin? Am I saying that right? Probably wrong. Probably totally wrong. I love fiddle and violin. I like string instruments. Never been able to play one, and therefore I have like existential jealousy. But I love them. Cello or a bass or fiddle, violin, viola, whatever they're all different names. They're gorgeous though. I love them. Those are representing humans. Yep. That's disgusting. I have to get rid of that off my computer because that's just I. Ugh. Gross. Gross. Oh my god, yes. Yes. Let me give you a permit. Hold on. I must permit you because the only reason we block links and shit is so people don't post like creepy fucking porn or murder shit in my channel. That's it. No shit. As of August 2022, there are 108 known species of peacock spiders. There you go. So it's very likely there's probably peacock spiders on all the different continents then. I mean, other than the ones that don't have spiders altogether. Sheepy, how you doing, honeybean? How are you doing? How was your holiday? I hope it was good and relaxing. Did it not work? I got it. Wait, I got it. I got it, though. It worked for me. Oh, I opened it on the wrong fucking monitor. Katie. 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 I have so many links up. Hold on. There it is. There it is. I have chat up on one. I was lost, but now I'm found. Welcome back, Katie. Jesus. Lord. Anonymous gifter just gifted a sub to Lena Marie. Lena Marie is about wizards of the highest order. Go forth and be consensual in every way because nothing in this world is sexier than pure sober consent. And thank you, anonymous person. Thank you. You lovely beaches. Thank you for the shout out for Wandering In. Please follow the Wandering In. If you heard me the other day talk about the fact that I'm going to be on a new RP show in almost under a month, like under 30 days away, it's going to be on that channel. So it would be highly advantageous for you to hit the follow.
Highly. Thanks.
Africa has a jumping spider, a Portia africana. Not nearly as colorful. Is that their only jumping spider? Wow, I'd be shocked if they had one. Just because it seems, in my ignorance, I feel like it would be the perfect climate for it. They have a lot of tarantulas and stuff, but damn. Oh, it's cute though. It's not an ugly jumping spider by any means. It's so cute, just kind of weird, kind of different. I have the touch. I love jumpers too. I just think they're so precious. They're everywhere. And one of the only things I've really liked about Colorado since I moved here is we have really big jumpers. And they're bright red. They get like this big and they're bright red. Harmless, but beautiful. And I love to see them. Okay, so I was gonna play this song. This is Christian Borlaug. Borlaug. It's Borlaug. If I'm pronouncing that wrong, please let me know. Spiller. Oh God, there's so many. You know what? I'm just gonna call the American card here. Click the link if you want to try to pronounce it yourself. Katie, the volume. Can we not? I just about fucking killed myself. I'm sorry if your ears are bleeding. Ooh, I like this though. It's so happy. Is that one person on one fiddle? Is it low? Oh, let me turn it up. Sorry. Better? That's one person? Okay, hold up. Is the volume good now? Because I'm going to restart it. It sounds like the tubin throat singing, but on a violin. Is it still quiet? Okay, let me put it up a little bit more. I appreciate you guys helping me. Most people know, but if you're new to my channel, the way I split my audio, I don't hear what you guys hear. So if it's ever too loud, too quiet, please feel free to say something. I don't want to torture you guys. I have no idea. How about now? I'll start it over once we find a good. Is that decent? Good? Okay. Yeah, I like the thump. But it sounds like more than one person to me. That's magical. I like this a lot. Literally. Okay. This is dope. I like this a lot. It's kind of fucking magical. We're going on an adventure! Oh my god, look at that floof boy. Looks like a dust bunny. Oh my god, if he was black, that's a real life dust bunny from Totoro. Literally. That's precious. This is gorgeous. I can't get over how it sounds like more than one person. Dude, that's fucking awesome, though. I love that. You have a dance that goes with it. Oh, I'm jelly. Of Is that the Click song? This is consummating the Hobbit marriage. I grabbed a cuteness. Thank you. All I was doing, I looked up a video of him playing live. I just desperately want to see him playing because of whatever is happening with his fingers seems like hot magic, and I could only find one video of him playing live. So we're gonna enjoy it together. Was fucked. I could never in a million years. What the hell? I like it. I really like the song, but damn, I couldn't get my eyes off those dancers flipping around in the background like it was no big thing. Jesus. Damn. I ordered a vibrator and a fucking slug hitched to life and fell out of the package. What? And I tried to rescue him with a mug and paper. He was too scared and wouldn't come out of the mug. He retreated. He finally went back into the mug. I tried to lure him out with soil. He's so scared. So I went downstairs and left the mug outside the door for him to leave at his leisure. How much time have you spent thinking about this slug? I mean, I'm there with you, but damn. How many tarantulas do I have? I believe I have about 50. I think I have 50. Well, I have 48 tarantulas and I have 3 spiders and 1 scorpion. Do I have a favorite? Not. I don't know. Not really. I have probably a favorite species or a couple favorite species just because in general they tend to be like active and they web a lot and they the one I was talking about earlier, the Pteranopelma sazami, they come to the opening of their enclosure and like gently take their food from me like a dog. And I think that's cute and weird. I don't know. I have a brain disease, Greg. And that was my Norwegian education of the day. Dude, I love that. I love learning about different cultures and stuff. And honestly, I'm always on the search for good music. It's free, like all education here. Oh. Right to the heart. I'm not arachnophobic, but 50 spiders in one place, that would freak me out. You're not arachnophobic? Okay, then I wouldn't say this if you were, but since you're not, I guarantee you have thousands in your house. You have millions in your eyelashes. At least I can see mine. Literally, they're all right there. So if you think about it, it sounds like a lot, but that right there from here to here is how much space those spiders take up. So it's not like they're like a fish tank, you know? When someone says, I have 10 dogs, you're like, oh my God, what the fuck? But if someone's like, I have 10 fish, you're like, oh, okay, you have a fish tank. So it's not like 50 dogs. Like, that's them right there. That's every spider I own is behind me. So, I don't know. It sounds like a lot, but it's literally 50 boxes of dirt. That's exactly what it is, with maybe a spider in there. I can't say I know it's same. And usually what I tell people is if you're afraid of spiders and you're one of those people who's just like really into murdering any spider in your house, think about it this way. Spiders, they have one ganglion versus our millions in our head, but they have enough instinct and enough intelligence to go where there is food. So if you're continuously finding wolf spiders or brown house spiders or any kind of spider in your house, it's because there's something to eat. Clean your fucking environment. Stop killing spiders. They'll leave if there's nothing to eat. Not to give you nightmares. But there's something to eat if they're there. My garage inside all the walls of my house is a spider sanctuary. I'm the same. Like, if there's a spider in my bed, I'm going to fucking wipe it off me because I'm naked and that's not the place. But if there's a spider in the corner of a room somewhere, like, we just have a silent acknowledgement. Like, don't crawl on me and you can eat whatever you find. We're good. They're everywhere, though. There are so many bugs in their house. Insects are evil? Oh my God. Okay, that tank right there is a hissing cockroach tank. Don't be freaked out if you see one and or hear like the because they're just stupid and they do that all the time. Don't freak out. You know what's funny? Actually, cockroaches are cleaner than you. Cockroaches are basically sterile. Pretty wild. We associate them with filth because they live in filth, but because they live in filth, they have to maintain an insanely sterile body, otherwise they would get diseased and die. So they spend over 80% of their existence just cleaning each other. Wild. I know. Humans are filth. Cockroaches are pretty sterile, though. It's weird. I know it sounds crazy, but I learn about the things I take care of, as you probably should, and that was one of the craziest things I learned, was cockroaches are wildly clean, like, insanely, they have to be. Similar with rats. Rats, like, are the cleanest rodent in existence. They spend over 75% of their life, I believe, just cleaning themselves because they live in filth, so they have to maintain a clean body in order not to get diseases and die. So rats, if you ever wanna own a rodent, rat's your best bet, it's the cleanest. Crazy. Weird, huh? I rarely kill any spiders that find their way into my house. I usually relocate it outside, but as far as I'm concerned, out of sight, out of mind, same. I just don't want it crawling on me when I'm naked in bed. That's my only, like, and that's only happened one time ever. A wolf spider, like, crawled up on the bed. Oh, I do. Those are my food for my spooder army. Yep. When you have this many spiders, it's very advantageous to just heart. This is also a roach colony. I forgot this is behind me. I'm so sorry. This is my dubia roach colony. You could probably see him actually if I pick it up. Oh, that's a roach colony, and when it's warm, they're all on the top, and it's dubia roaches, but yeah, it's so much cheaper than buying feeders all the time. I have lizards too. I have, lizards, I have geckos, I have frogs, and snakes. Snakes don't eat bugs, but the lizards, the geckos, and the frogs all eat bugs, so it's so much easier for me just to have my own fucking colony of roaches and feed off that. And they're clean, and I keep them all in airtight container, like, not airtight, but, like, they can't get out. So, also, one, like, if you also have a lot of wild animals, if you have a lot of pets and you're thinking about, doing your own cockroach culture or whatever, a big tip that I have, what's the word? Implied? No. Implied. No. Just something I've followed that's been really good for me is never cultivate a species that can live where you live. So if you live in Florida, that's impossible. But for someone like me that's in Colorado, everything I own would die if it got outside. Everything, including the cockroaches, literally everything, because they're all tropical species that need warmth and heat. And I'm in Colorado in the mountains. So it's not like I'm going to throw them outside, but it prevents me from getting an infestation of any kind. You don't want to be culturing anything that could go wild. You know what I mean? Okay, the dogs, you got me there. You got me there. Touche sales, too fucking shay. It is a spooter decorated Christmas tree, yes. My webcam is wobbling and I don't know why. Yeah, that's my spooter tree. Mhm. You can tell I've got a theme or whatever. Stop it, camera. You don't want invasive species. Exactly. Like, you do not want to be letting go of things that can go wild that will destroy natural biomes and stuff like that. Exactly. Exactly. Not meaning to sexualize, but you look like you had an alien butt with a black thong. Oh my god, can you see my underwear? Stop it. Can you see my underwear? Oh no, it's the stripes. Well, kind of. Uh-huh. That's funny. It's the weird pattern on the leggings I never noticed. That's fucking funny. I never noticed. Um, so if you did have an earthquake, how long would they last? What do you mean? Oh, you like, if I had some disaster where they would get out, they would die instantaneously. It's so cold here, they can't live. Like, there's a reason there's no native tarantulas here in Denver. They're in Colorado, but they're out in the east, in, like, the plains. We don't have any up here because insects, reptiles, the like, they're all cold-blooded. Cold-blooded meaning they can eat all day, but they cannot create their own energy. They can't create their own heat from what they eat. Mammals do. That's one of the big differences between mammals and reptiles and insects. So reptiles and insects rely on outside heat sources. They have to have the sun or something. And if they don't have it, their metabolism will go so low that they'll just die. They'll just die. They would all just, they wouldn't survive. Nothing I own. Like my Woma pythons from Central Australia. Not gonna live. My ball python is from Northern Africa, not gonna live in the cold weather. I have 2 BCIs that are from Africa, not gonna live in the cold weather. Crested geckos are from what is it? The Caledonian Isle. Oh god, I can't remember the name of the islands. They're from some fucking tropical islands. They're definitely not gonna live. My dumpy frogs are from Australia, not gonna live in cold weather. And almost every single tarantula I have is either from Brazil or Africa. meaning they're all warm. They need at least 70 degrees in the house. Otherwise, you're running the risk of them dying. But again, it saves me from the risk of having an invasive species go wild in Denver. Like, nothing I own, if something terrible happened, could get out. The sheer thermal shock probably would kill them. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Exactly. My friend lives in Denver. She's from England. Known her for about 20 plus years. She invited me to come visit tons of times. No shit, she still lives here? From England. Can I ask why she lives in Denver? It's okay, but damn, what a change. We be mammal winning. At least we can eat and get hot. Will destroy natural biomes sounds like humans. I mean, you got me there. Wild poodles. Can you imagine a herd of fucking poodles? Zach would die if he got out. Have you ever seen him outside? Facts. I have to pee so fucking bad, my dudes. I think it's early. I don't even know if it's break time or yet, but I have literally drank so much coffee. I'm about to burst inside myself. So quick break so I can fucking pee. There's so much inside me. Same. I turn into a blazing hot, like, dwarf star at nighttime, apparently, and I don't know why, because the rest of the time, I'm fucking freezing cold. Oh, she met a guy and got married. That makes sense. Joe Ray on the cliff. On the off chance that you know her, I know it's a minuscule chance. I mean, I literally moved here the weekend of COVID shut down. So if it wasn't that, I probably would, because I like to be social and I like to go out. But I moved here. I literally drove to Denver from Baltimore the weekend that they shut the world down for COVID. And that's the only time I've ever lived here. So, like, I've just hermited. I made myself my little terrarium to live in, and I'm good. Which is sick. I did have one tarantula escape. It didn't escape, actually. It got out while I was feeding it, and it didn't, like, they don't even run away, which is interesting. Like, they don't run to hide anywhere. It just crawled out and then just sat next to its own enclosure, and I just picked it up and put it back inside. I don't know, man. That was the last thing I wanted to say about spiders. They're just so easy to take care of. It's very, like, honestly, the reason I love all animals. Like, I would have every animal known to man if it was feasible. But I travel. I like to travel a lot when it's not fucking COVID time. And I need to be responsible when it comes to that kind of stuff, right? Like, I can't depend on someone else to take care of some sort of high-end animal. Like, if I had a bird or something like that, like, you can't travel a ton when you have a bird because they're so fucking pinned to you. Like, they literally bond to you, like, forever. Stuff like that. Whereas a tarantula, it doesn't give a fuck about me. They're easier to take care of than a tarantula. They prefer to not be touched. I think they're happier when I take a vacation. It's great. So I have cool animals that are really low maintenance. Like I said, their shits are nothing. The only reason you can see the shits of this spider is it's arboreal. So I was gonna say that I'm gonna pull up Hades because I really want to play some Hades today. I haven't played for a while. But that what so there's two, like, families of tarantula. Families. They're not like an official taxonomy or anything like that, but it's official families of them. We call them New World and Old World tarantulas. New World tarantulas come from the New World, i.e., the Americas. Old World tarantulas everywhere else. So Australia, Africa, anywhere that can harbor a tarantula, anywhere that's warm enough. And the reason we split them up like this is because they have two different, very unique defense mechanisms. If you are a New World tarantula, you have the ability to you can rub the hairs off your body onto your prey and it itches. It's like itchy cactus fur. You can literally, like, kick the hairs off your body into the air so that your prey has to breathe them, or you can kick them off your legs or something like that. There's three different ways. If you're an old world tarantula, meaning from Africa or Australia, you have none of that. You have no defense mechanism. So the arboreal ones that tend to be from those areas, they tend to just projectile poop. That's their defense mechanism. It's so fucking weird. I don't understand how this helps them in any way, shape, or form. But all of my arboreal tarantulas, there's little white dots down the glass where they have pooped at me when I feed them or something. That's what tarantulas do. I'm not shitting you. Biting you, if a tarantula ever bites you, it's because it's probably falling off of you and it's its last ditch effort to hold on because it knows it's going to die if it falls. They don't have enough intelligence to, like, bond or anything like that, but they have enough to know what they can do, without dying. I need to start drawing again. Do it. I want to make a new superhero comic, Vigilante of Justice Cabbage Man, but by day, mild-mannered steamer coleslaw. Streamer, not steamer. Jesus Christ. Oh my, do you remember the Cabbage Patch doll that would eat? that you would, like, put little plastic carrots in its mouth. I was talking to Zach about it the other night, and he was like, "What are you talking about? What Cabbage Patch doll?" And it's because it got taken off the market really quick. So it was this Cabbage Patch doll that had, like, a little backpack, and it came with, like, plastic carrot sticks, and you would put a carrot stick in its mouth, and it would munch until the carrot stick was no longer there, and it would fall into its backpack, and it was like you were feeding it. But little girl's hair would get stuck in the doll's mouth, and the way that the doll was programmed, it wouldn't stop chewing until there was nothing in its mouth. So it was like scalping children. I had one when I was a kid. It didn't scalp me, but I did put real food in its mouth and it's rotted on the inside. And my mom took it away because it smelled like a dead bird. So, Cabbage Patch dolls, right? What a time. What a time to be alive. I someone earlier said they had just bought Hades. It is the best game ever. I have 880.7 hours in this game. That's a lot. I play this game constantly. I have my own game that I play offline where I'm like trying to clear all the fucking achievements and shit. However, I started a whole new playthrough for stream because I want to listen to the story and actually play it with you guys. So we have a whole new playthrough. I'm gonna change the category. And I'm gonna fuck around in some Hades. No shit, and you broke it? Good, because it could have fucking scalped her. Do you remember hearing about that doll? It did. I think my mom took mine away before anyone knew about the, like, launching of hair or anything. Seen them twice live. They're definitely not a PC band, you know what I mean? They've got, like, a song called Fat Girl, a song called Asian Hooker. But if you like comedy and laughing, they're fucking hilarious, and their music just so happens to be great. Like, it's actually, in my opinion, legitimately very fine rock and roll. I like him. It's good to listen to. I kind of wore them out for myself, listened to him to death a little bit. But I really like them, and they put on a hilarious show. When they sing, I think it's when they sing, God, I can't remember which song it is. It's been so long, literally probably 10 years since I saw them live. But at one point, they let girls just come up on the stage, like drunk, very scantily clad women from the audience. And one of the times, actually, I think both times I went, there was a different woman whose tit just fell out on the stage. She was so fucking wasted. She had no idea. And she was just having a great time. And no one did a thing. Everyone just had a great time with her. Both times. Like, and this is not an act. It's a different person. It's just a very inebriated person and their tit falls out. And it's a good time. I don't know. Everybody there is just laughing hysterically. They put on a good show. Some of their music videos are pretty fucking gnarly. There's one called Glory Hole. It's one of my favorite songs. However, there's a whole lot of cum in it. Like, so much fake cum in the music video, and they're like gargling it and drowning and putting it on cake and then eating the cake. And there's just a certain point when my body goes, "Oh no." And I suck dick, but it's just like a lot. So a little bit of a fair warning, but they're hilarious. And their gimmick, this is the coolest part, in my opinion, about them. They started as a Vegas show, as a gimmick. Their whole gimmick is they are old, burnt out rock stars from the 80s who disappeared and are now coming back and trying to relive the glory days. So, like, they look like older dudes and they play that up. They poke out their hairy bellies and shit, and they have, like, mullet wigs, and they play up, like, the whole thing of it, like, that they're burnt out, like, now. I mean, I don't know if they're still, because this was literally 10 years ago, so maybe they're playing up that they're 60. I don't know. But it's hilarious. It's good fun. If you like a laugh and you like good music, I'll play Glory Hole for you. I don't think I can honestly play it on stream because of all the cum in it. My dogs just bark out of nowhere. I have no idea why. And the main singer, his voice is phenomenal. He has a very good voice. This is Glory Hole. It's a great song. It's just a whole lot of cum. Oh, and the guitar players are phenomenal too. So they started as a Vegas show and now they're a band that tours. So that's where we get aged language. We don't use that word anymore. Well, No, I don't think trans people like to be referred to as a fucking hermaphrodite. No, they don't have ill intentions with anything they do. I just love it. The kicking, yeah, it's great. It doesn't isn't he hitting the cymbal with the dildo? Glam metal, yes, very much. Like, Twisted Sister. Yeah. I was trying to think of a music video I can show on stream because they look hilarious. What about Pussy Whipped? That one doesn't have, like, excessive cum or anything, right? If anybody's familiar with the band. I don't r It's been so long since I've listened. I mean, honestly, they're great. It's just been a long time since I listened to them. Hi, Kelty, how are you? There's fucking dog hair. It's my life. It's my life. Oh, my nose. Why? Death to All Metal is a good one. Is that a good I thought it was just alive. Like, there's a dog hair stuck to my nose ring. Uh. All day! All day! Oh my god, I'm gonna cry. Come up with Death to All of It Metal. Oh, yeah, that's the one when they're, like, in a school. Yeah, at least you can see what they look like, 'cause they Oh my god, I'm so glad I got to introduce all of you to Steel Panther today. They do have a new song. I haven't heard it yet. I'm gonna have to listen to it. I'm very excited. Yeah, I was hoping I forgot I forgot how that video went. Honestly, I was hoping that they would do something about the double entendre of death to all butt metal. Death to all butt metal. It's just great. It's just great. Steel Panther is hilarious. I mean, gotta have a sense of humor, but I mean, fuck, dude. And realize the dated language, obviously. Like, fucking hilarious. I fucking forgot they even existed. I'm so glad I have water now. My mouth was so dry. Dog ownership. Ain't she the best? No, they're not gonna get the squirrel. The squirrel's in another yard. The squirrel never comes in my yard. It perches, it fucks with them. It's playing with them. I know they're smarter than that, even though they're just like tree rats. This squirrel literally perches in the tree of our neighbor's yard right over our fence and just like chatters and rattles its tail at our dogs. And my dogs like screech bark at it and try to get it. They never do. They can't get it. It'll never come in our yard, but they do fuck with the dogs all the fucking time. Ugh, I hate them. Ooh, someone was acting like a bot and being weird. They are. They're smart. I'm convinced of it because I think they like direct the dogs away from their babies or their nest or whatever it is by like going up this telephone pole or a power pole or whatever and or this tree in my neighbor's yard, but they never come over. This has been happening since we got the dogs. The dogs are just obsessed with trying and it exhausts them. The cat next door, Bonnie, also fucks with Bonnie, our dog. That's fantastic. I don't know what this squirrel's called. I call it bitch. Stupid bitch. I fucking hate it so much because it drives me. They do it at all hours. Anytime the squirrel is out, and the dogs just become like hyper hunter fixated on them. So I literally have to go out in the mud, which means I don't even have any muck boots to go out in my yard, which I would sink in and die, and I have to drag them up the hill, and that's just not happening right now. You know what I'm saying? It's just not happening right now. So they can fuck. They can do whatever they want. They can bark. They can. Honestly, on my days off and like when I'm not streaming, I do leave them in the yard for like an hour at a time. I make sure to check on them and I have a window cracked so I can hear them at all times. But they love to play in the yard and have fun. I need like fucking rubber boots at this point. It's crazy. I don't have a shoe that it has a high enough heel to go in my yard right now. The mud it's like quicksand mud. It's so deep. It's wild. Oh, Sean, it's ridiculous. They look so hilarious. And it's even funnier right now because they're like shaved down, like poodle shaved down. So their face, it's basically shaved down to the skin. They do like a 0 on their face. And they're so skinny. They have like those floppy cheeks that like greyhounds have. And when Lil, especially, you can really see it on her because she's lighter and it's easier. The void, he absorbs all the light. You can see it on her when she like sees something, her cheeks puff. She sits there and goes like out her fucking like just here, but not out the front of her muzzle, and she just looks fucking almost. She reminds me of like it's funny like watching a naked cat do things. I don't know, they're so funny looking, but they are. I mean, you can see the hunter in them. I guess poodles were literally bred to be waterfowl hunting dogs. I think 'cause they've got webbed feetsies. Ooh, we used to have good boots at Lowe's too, but I refuse to shop there. Dude, those would actually work perfectly. The tread on them looks fucking amazing. I might have to find me some of those. It's pretty crazy. And it's this spring we're gonna plant it up because we finally found like, I'm very anti-grass, lawns, waste of water, blah blah. But there's apparently a very drought friendly zero scaping clover, like it's called like Dutch white clover or something like that you can plant in your yard. It doesn't take a lot of water. It'll live. It can be stomped on and walked on. It's more of a ground cover turf that's definitely walkable, walk on everything. And that's what I'm going to plant over the yard because the problem is right now that we got rid of the weeds. That was this summer. This summer's big goal was getting rid of those weeds. And I've tweeted pictures of myself standing in my yard when we first moved here. These fucking whatever they are, like milkweed plants, were taller than me, and I'm 6 feet tall. They're enormous. So this summer, or last summer, I guess, we put like that weed netting everywhere across the ground and then buried that in like wood chips to try to smother out the weeds because I don't want to put any chemicals in my yard or anything like that. So we smothered out all the weeds, but the consequences of that is that there's no more root structure in the ground. So all that muddy clay is just like loose shit, fucking muddy clay right now. So this spring we're gonna plant it up with this white clover shit and try to maintain some sort of root structure because it's just insane. It's really fucking annoying. It's not fake turf. Turf more. Oh my god, I just got what you're saying. Oh my god, though. Oh, clipping and grooming your poodle step by step, dude. We actually got the clippers to try to do it, and I thought like the idea of accidentally clipping their nanas is so frightening to me. I just can't bring myself to do it. It's all astroturf. Turfs are at least good fertilizer.
I mean, if you bury them under the land.
I never had a school with astroturf. My school had grass. We were a small school though. We probably couldn't afford turf. I'd love to get some kind of non-grass ground cover that does well in low sun for my yard. Look at clover. There's a lot of different options for it. You just want to find one that's not like an invasive species or anything. But I have to because we live in Denver. It's very like it's wet right now because we had a lot of snow. But normally we're very, very, very dry environment. So I looked into something called xeriscaping, where it's essentially landscaping very with plants and things like that are very minimally require that. Wow, I really can't speak today. Require minimal watering because I don't want to waste water. That's my biggest anti-lawn thing, like having grass. You're just watering nothing, and we're like, our world is on a shortage of aquifer water because we water fucking lawns. And I've seen a lot of good stuff. Anti-grass, get rid of the weed. What am I hearing? I know, right? Who is she? Combating weeds, it sucks, honestly. Like, we couldn't do anything but do that this summer. Like, Zach did so much. He would have to go out there and, like, cut them down. Because they're these, I don't know what they are. I think they're a type of milkweed, but they quite literally grow taller than me. And their root structure is like a tap root. So you have to cut them down. And then you have to use one of those, like weed puller root things to, like, de-root them out of the ground. Was a pain in the ass. But if we planted anything, it would have been choked out by all that stuff. It would have been a waste of money. So that was, like, our thing we did this summer, and it was exhausting. It sucked. And now our yard's a mud pit, which super sucks. But I want to plant stuff. I just didn't want all these weeds everywhere because I don't, I want my yard to be like functional. I'm basically going to treat it like one of my terrariums and make myself like a fucking jungle or something with what I can without like, draining the world's water. A big thing in Texas. I think it's a big thing everywhere where I think Denver and Colorado, we don't have water restrictions because the water that feeds into Texas and California comes from us. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it comes from the snow melt here. However, we still have just as dry of an environment. I don't know why we're allowed to be just like wasteful because I have a lot of neighbors with big lawns and I've seen them water them in the fucking rain. Sprinklers coming on. Like, I'm just, what the fuck are you doing? What in the fuck are you doing? Ugh. Now it's plenty of free water 3/4 of the year. I mean, schools having turf is interesting because they're basically promoting student injuries. I've heard turf is horrific to fall on. It doesn't look fun. Isn't it kind of like rubbery? It's like recycled tire or something, right? Our secondary school had sponsoring in sport participation before it all went to shit with the embezzling. There's actually a kid in the school, a kid in the year below me, who's now a big time England football player. Wow, that's so weird. We get a shitload of hemlock in our yard, and that shit is prolific in deep tat roots. In Seattle, the thing we had was blackberries. Oh my god, the blackberries. They're like a fucking living nightmare. They grow into walls, like literally 8-foot walls of mounds of them, and they the same. They have this insane taproot. So they're without poison, they're almost impossible to kill. You just live your life cutting them down forever. They're crazy. My parents complain about them a lot. My dad literally like drags a fucking backhoe digger through the yard trying to get the roots out. It's wild. Polkweed. I think I know what that is. sprinkler controller with no rain sensor is what they're doing, I bet. It just doesn't make I mean, it just seems so irresponsible to me. I've seen that on my walks before. One of the people with super slender lawns having their built-in sprinklers going on in the rain. I've seen it multiple I've seen it going on in like what would you call it? Where were we? We were driving around Colorado and it's, I guess they're owned and maintained by the city. We were driving around Denver, excuse me, not Colorado. Jesus Christ. Denver. And when you're driving down a road and there's like those little islands in the middle of the road where it'll be like some trees and grass planted, but it's not big. It's not like a park. It's not big enough for any human to even stand on it. But sometimes they're pretty long. One time it was like pouring fucking rain, like flood rains, and there were sprinklers going on. And I think I took a video of it because it was hilarious to me. Because the city of Denver has water problems. Like every couple of years, they have to put some chemicals in the water supply because an algae is growing in there. And so the chemicals knock it back a little bit, and then they just wait until enough people are complaining about a weird flavor in their water, and then they do the chemicals again. I don't have Denver water. I'm like right outside of Denver proper, so I have my own not city water, which tastes so much better. But Scott could tell you all about the sick Denver water he's on now. The blackberries are everywhere. They're the worst. They're the worst. The previous owners had planted some. What? Oh my God, trouble. No shit. When I worked at Lowe's in Bellingham, Washington, we sold blackberry plants in our garden area, like in the garden center. And I remember one year I was out there just like helping put up signage or inventory or something, and I saw them next to the raspberries, and I audibly gasped. And I'm like, is it legal to sell this? We also sold English ivy, which is another insanely invasive plant. That plant actually rips buildings apart, I've heard. I don't know how legit that is, but that's pretty wild. It's still insanely invasive. I went to one of those pretty colleges that has like a big red stone building that's covered in ivy in one of the main shots. But when I went there, actually, the whole building was not covered in ivy. They have to de-ivy it like every 5 or something years because the roots get into like the mortar between the bricks and tear it up. They can like dismantle a building, which is fucking insane to me. I don't know, man. There's a lot of invasive plants in Washington State, and it's impossible to get rid of. Did it pull shit off your house? That's insane. And we sold it for like $1. What the fuck? We also sold blackberries, which is insane. I mean, anywhere in the Pacific Northwest, blackberries. They literally line the freeways and the highways. And it's just walls of them. They're crazy. And I think they're totally invasive. Correct me if I'm wrong. Imagine being able to drive. Same though. I'm pretty sure our lawn is grass, but we also don't give a fuck and definitely don't water it. Most we do is cut it when we absolutely have to. That's my parents. They live in the Pacific Northwest, and they have a lawn, but they don't water that shit. They live in the Pacific Northwest. It fucking gets watered, and when it's dry out, it gets brown. But that's the way. I mean, grass is grass, literally, like the defining characteristic of grass is that it never dies, right? I mean, you can stomp on it, shit on it, whatever. I had to take over pulling weeds from my parents' garden after my mom would pass out from overworking. Oh my fucking God. I believe that. I hope that doesn't happen to my mom. Her garden, my mom's garden is pretty small right now. Bamboo is pretty bad. Bamboo was really bad in Baltimore. I noticed that. We had like walls of bamboo, and I always thought it was really pretty and planted, and it's totally not, apparently. Like once bamboo takes root, I guess like one bamboo, plant can grow a forest. I don't know how to word that. Someone who's a botanist would know how to word that. It's similar to mushrooms under the forest. Lots of mushrooms all over the forest, but it's one plant under the ground. I think bamboo's similar, kind of like aspen. Aspen does it. Aspen trees, like the rattling aspen or whatever, the shaking aspen here in Colorado does the same thing. And I cannot fucking remember what the term is called, but it does something like that. It's like one tree will sprout a bunch of trees. Like you'll get a little forest from aspen, right? And I'm not a botanist. I like plants. I do my best, but I am not a botanist. Is bindwood. No shit. Another name for ivy is bindwood. I believe that. The ivy was burrowing into the brickwork, and that's why my school tore it down. I remember when I was an ignorant student, I was like, oh man, I have to be here when there's no ivy. It was so pretty, but Jesus, I'd tear it off too. Christ. Planting bamboo is a decent way to make someone's life miserable if they're going to be away for a bit, from my understanding. That's what I've heard too. It's terrible. Another name for ivy is bindwood. I kind of like that name better. Without lawn care, how will xenophobic old people have hobbies? I don't. Bowling? I don't know. Sex? Whatever. I don't.
Video games. I don't see my hobbies changing when I'm old. I'm gonna plant and play video games. Be a forest witch. It's fun. Play with your belly button. I don't fucking know. I looked into bamboo when I was in Texas for some shade and noped out. Same. I looked into it here. I looked into it here for mainly privacy because we're kind of on a weird hill where we have an 8-foot fence, but there are large areas of my neighborhood that can just stare straight into my house because the fence goes down and we're like on the top of the hill. And it's a weed. Like I'm not gonna infest my neighbor's yard like that. That seems rude. Oh, no shit. Bamboo is a grass, so it proliferates the same way. That actually makes sense. That's crazy, but it makes sense. Bamboo's a pain. We did have a bunch of that along the border of our property we had to get rid of. I've heard it's almost impossible to get rid of. Watch for the shoots coming up. When I was in Baltimore, it was like a big thing. I remember moving into an apartment. They were like, you can't even have a bamboo plant in your apartment for fear it seeds into the water next to your sink or something. You know how people have those cute little good luck bamboo plants? I couldn't have one in my apartment. They're really serious about it. And I'm pretty sure those are completely different plants. But, you know, bitches be bitches. Shuffleboard, right? Bocce ball. I don't fucking know. Something athletic. Now that we have hundreds of types of boner pills, old people can just fuck as a hobby, right? It's not like whatever they get's gonna kill them. They don't got that much time left. Fuck it up. Try acid. I don't fucking know. There are things to do. That scares me. I mean, I get it though. I don't care. I used to live in a place actually where, well, my college town that I went to, Bellingham, is really close to an area that's like, I guess it was founded by like a Dutch community, whatever. And to this day, though, the town itself, like, maintains these the whole town, city proper, and it's very small, maintains these weird rules regarding like the height of your lawn. You must have a maintained lawn. It must be this species of grass. It must look like your neighbor's lawn. You can't add anything. Like, you can't add a deck to the front of your house unless your neighbor is okay with the style, because if they ever add a deck, they have to add the exact same deck so your houses match. It's one of those towns. It was fucking weird. We used to drive through it all the time. They had good food. It was very Dutch centric. They had lots of tulips everywhere, but really good Dutch cafes and shit like that. Like, it was tasty, but it was bizarre. And I remember the first time I went there, one of my friends that I went to college with told me, these are one of those places in life where if you feel like someone's staring at you in a negative way, they are. And I felt it, man. Oh, I felt it. There's a reason the highest STD numbers are all in the elderly. I mean, dude, I kind of get it. Fuck it. Not that we should be spreading STDs, but like, sure. It's to each. At least they're not like obsessing over their lawn height. And if bamboo gets out of control, the only natural predator is pandas. And you can only rent them from China. And even then, I heard in the wild, they've lost the ability to naturally fuck. Like, they're just so kind of deity. They don't know how. Like, bless pandas. They're beautiful and I love them. But I've seen so much on how the people that are trying to replenish their numbers in nature literally have to, like, stick them together like Legos and, like, because pandas are just, like, fucking high off of bamboo or eucalyptus or, no, eucalyptus is koalas. Bamboo leaves all day or some shit. Yeah. Why not just go for it? I kind of agree. Like, I make jokes about how, like, I'll try the hard drugs when I'm in my 80s. But honestly, maybe if I'm bored, I don't know. What's it gonna do? Kill me? If I'm shitting my pants, I'm good. That's true, Sean. That implies that that by the time you've lived to whatever old is by the time we're there, because who knows? Like, right now, I would consider like 85 and up. You're getting up there in terms of medicine, in terms of just working in a hospital and the most, death I saw. I would say that's like old. Like, you're really slowing down by that time. You know what I mean? But by the time we're old, who the fuck knows? I don't know. Who knows? I don't know. But that means that by the time you're, let's say it's 85, you've lived to 85 and you still don't hate people. Like, still don't utterly loathe the human species to a point where you can't fuck them. Like, you're willing to put a PP in one, or vice versa, or PP to PP. I don't give a fuck. Sword fight, whatever. I don't know. My Nana did not. She wouldn't even go in a retirement home. She refused. She lived at home till the day she fucking died. Pigeon porn would have to be. I mean, birds fuck for literally a millisecond in all the nature films I've ever seen. Like the boy bird usually spends, his entire existence building like this perfect loop of sown grass with his mouth. And the lady comes over and either says like, "Nah, I'm good," or walks through the arch. He comes over and is like, "Flap," and she leaves. And they've copulated. That's it. It's insane. It's really wild. I don't know. I don't know, man. It doesn't seem worth the porn investment. Oh my god, Dread. I don't know. Are they all inbred now? That'd be very sad. Do you know that pigeons would be bored by movies because they would move too slow because their FPS processing is way faster than ours? It would be like watching a slideshow. Oh, I mean, I wonder if that's a bird thing. Just because they go at such high speeds flying and shit like that. Like, what if their vision is like that? Pigeons are also domesticated. Wild pigeons are horrible at survival and depend on humans. Wild. You mean like the city chickens, the city rats, the flying rats? I'm down and desperate as long as you don't have any diseases. I got you regardless. I mean, age doesn't mean much to me either. As long as you don't smell. Hygiene, right? Just be like fucking clean. That's my biggest thing. Like diseases even. Like we can work with shit like that, but just don't smell like smegma. Like I'm cool. Really? Cheetahs are considered inbred as a species because of the last ice age. No shit. So like not enough survived from the last ice age to create a healthy population, basically. That's sad. Are cheetahs kind of dumb because of that? I've read things about lions populations dying out because they're like diseased and stuff, but I don't know. The last Ice Age movie wasn't that bad. Jesus fucking Christ. I gotta find someone to host and go fucking get my dogs out of the mud. I'm trying to think, like, do I just wrap my legs in, like, cellophane? Like, get out a sled and roll down the mud? I don't know. I don't know, but I gotta go get him out of it somehow. This is going to be very interesting. Thank you for hanging out with me today. As always, it was a fucking thrill. I love streaming. You guys are dope. Message for today, clean your bits and someone will be down to fuck. I think that's a message for every day, right? Like, just make sure your no-nos aren't covered in, like, dead skin and stuff, and we're good to go. Yeah. More so, cheetahs have the highest deaths for infants. Oh, like SIDS kind of stuff because of the inbreeding. Oh, that makes me so sad. Oh, that's sad. Do they eat them? Maybe I don't want to know. That's a fun fact. Also sad. Aren't cheetahs... Wait. Okay, let's add a fun fact on top of the sad fact that's actually a fun fact. I think cheetahs are one of the few big cats, if not the only one, that can purr and meow, but it can't roar, right? Like, if you can roar, you can't purr. Something like that with big cats. It's fucking weird, but adorable. I've seen videos of cheetahs meowing. Hold on. Maybe I can find one real quick. It's cute. Please hold. Well, that was fast. It's muted, as per Katie's usual. I got it. What the fuck, though? Like, it's kind of the most precious thing, but also murder machine. Like, that one's gonna eat your face flesh. Is that purring? I don't feel soothed. I don't feel soothed. Oh, they're cute, though. Oh, I kind of want to kiss it. Oh, God, it's a death machine. Oh. What the fuck, though? Meow. 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 That's fucking cool, though, right? I mean, they're all big cats, but they definitely have these very distinct differences, which is weird. Oh, genus Panthera, tigers, lions, and leopards cannot purr. Genus Felis, cougars, panthers, and bobcats, oh, you're blowing my mind, can purr. That's fantastic. That's beautiful. I've always wondered, seriously, because I grew up in, like, Eastern Washington, where we have cougars, and we have bobcats, and we have all the big cats of North America, but they are so fucking different. That is so weird. So genus Panthera, tigers, lions, leopards, etc., cannot purr. Genus Felis, cougars, panthers, and bobcats can purr. That's so fucking creepy and cool. Nature is cool. Oh, is it like old world versus new world? Oh my god, kind of like spiders. You might be right, honestly. I've read before, correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, this is like theoretical stuff, but I've read that in North America did have a panther at one point, but I think it went extinct due to hunting for its fur. Like way before our time. But I don't know. I don't remember. I read this so long ago. I could be very, very vague on the details. Zerkly, we heard that according to science, because of the last ice age, they're basically all inbred as hell because not enough survived to like maintain a healthy population. So they have a shit ton of baby deaths, which is hella sad. Now it's South and Central American panthers. Oh no shit. Old money, big cats versus new money. Oh my god. We also had horses before the last ice age. Were they horses or like I mean, I guess they always had the hoof, so that's basically a horse, yeah. In North America, weird. I love reading about that stuff. Oh my god, I just heard Zach start screaming. Okay, I have to go check on my dogs, my dudes, otherwise they might die. Let's go raid Zach and make fun of him. And if not, go do your own thing, and I'll fucking see you tomorrow. Wash your dicks, clean your bong, drink something delicious and warm, and eat something tasty. I'll see you tomorrow for whatever Thursday. Thanks for hanging out with me today for Hades. I love you unconditionally. I was gonna tell you one more thing. Shit. Oh, I think tomorrow I want to try to finish Stray. So if you're chilling or if you'd like to see the end of Stray or listen to it, I'm gonna try to do that tomorrow. So come chill. Anyways, the Screamer. Peace, bitch. Oklahoma. She's a mean one, Mrs. Grinch.